Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are Southwest.
It's a great time for your Rangers. They have the best record in baseball. And for the first time in club history, they're the first team to reach 50 wins. 7 Rangers have been named to Ron Washington's American League All-Star team. A key player in their success takes the mound tonight. Yu Darvish hopes to notch his 11th win and also join his teammates in Kansas City. Tonight he faces a worthy opponent in the Oakland A's, and as a final vote candidate, he's in the race to reach the Midsummer Classic. The Rangers and A's coming up next on Fox Sports Southwest. It is indeed a star-studded lineup that the Rangers face, and that draws them in by the thousands. And there are about 45,000 more filing in tonight as they watch the Rangers and the Oakland Athletics finish out this 4-game weekend series. Hello, everyone. Welcome along to Ranger Baseball. Along with Tom Grieve, I'm Steve Busby in for Dave Barnett. Glad to have you along tonight. And the Rangers trying to make it 6 in a row, but maybe as importantly tonight, Tom, they've been honored by all of baseball. The American League All-Star team picked today. 7 Rangers on that staff.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. It's the most the team has ever had. But I guess you don't go to the World Series 2 years in a row and then find yourself after 79 games with the best record in all of Major League Baseball without having an all-star lineup. The Rangers do. They have 7 people in the lineup, 5 position players. That's not even counting Nelly Cruz and Michael Young, who have been all-stars in the past. So it's an all-star studded group, there's no doubt about it, but they deserve it.
And the last one you saw there, Yu Darvish, would love to be voted in. He's part of that final vote, 5 pitchers, and he'd like to go up there to Kansas City also, along with his skipper and the rest of the guys. Well, Ron Washington's team looking for their 6th straight win here tonight, and their 4th consecutive over the Oakland Athletics. We'll have the starting lineups and the first pitch for you coming up right after this on Fox Sports Southwest. Is brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers. Want to break up with a vehicle that's breaking down? Then head to your Texas Ford dealer and drive the best in Texas. By Budweiser. Great times are waiting. Grab some buds. And by the Progressive Insurance Group. For a money-saving car insurance quote, call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE today. Just a few puffy clouds around. The high overcast that we'd had is mostly cleared out here at Rangers Ballpark. We had some fairly heavy rain about an hour ago, but it certainly cleared out, and it cooled things off a little bit. And right now it's 85 degrees here. And before we get started, let's go down to Emily Jones. Em?
Well, guys, you mentioned the 7 All-Stars that are headed to Kansas City. The Rangers could make it 8 should Yu Darvish get in on the 34th and final spot on that American League roster. We'll give you a look at who he's up against in this fan vote. There you see the 4 other pitchers joining you in this final vote as the final guy to get in. You can vote on MLB.com, on TexasRangers.com, and the Rangers are sweetening the pot a little bit. The first 25 times you vote, your name will be entered into a drawing for a sweet giveaway for 20 people that is to come later in the season. It will be for a Sunday game to be determined. You can vote, however, as many times as you would like by visiting MLB.com or TexasRangers.com. You can also text A2 to 89269. So the Rangers want to make it 8 in Kansas City. Yu Darvish is the guy that can get him there. A 10-4 record with a 3.57 ERA. Definitely numbers good enough to get him in. Yu says he doesn't feel like he's an all-star because he has walked so many batters. I'm sure he would take the honor, though, should the fans put him in there, guys.
All right, Em, thank you very much. Yeah, and let's make it 8. That'd be a nice round number, a double round number to get up there in Kansas City. Yu Darvish tonight will be facing this order for the Oakland A's. Coco Crisp is the DH and leads off tonight. Jamal Weeks, the second baseman. Hitting third is Josh Reddick, the right fielder. Batting cleanup, Yoenis Cespedes. He's in center field this evening. Seth Smith gets the start in left. Batting sixth and catching is Derek Norris. The first baseman, Brandon Moss, bats seventh. Brandon Inge is at third base today, batting eighth. And Cliff Pennington, the shortstop, hits ninth.
And we'll check out the Nissan scouting report for Yu Darvish. Has a chance to win his 11th game today. Solid ERA in spite of the walks. He's 10-4 with a 3.57 earned run average. His last 3 starts have gone well. He's won every one of them. Walks are down, strikeouts are up, just like they have been all year. Right-hand hitters don't fare very well against him. They only hit 187, and for much of the season he's pitched very well with men in scoring position. He's been able to overcome the walks that he's had by pitching well and pitching out of a lot of jams, particularly with men in scoring position.
And backing up Yu Darvish tonight, the defense looks like this. Hamilton and Gentry in left and center. Nelly Cruz in right. Mike Napoli, the first baseman. Kinsler and Andrews up the middle. Michael Young to start at third. And Robbie Torrealba will handle the catching chores with Yu Darvish, 25-year-old right-hander on the mound. Umpiring crew tonight. AAA call-up, Manny Gonzalez behind the plate. Ray Gibson is at first. Jerry Davis, the crew chief, is at second. And Phil Cuzzy is the third base umpire. Just about ready to get things started. Coco Crisp will start things off against Yu Darvish. Rangers looking to make it 6 wins in a row. They have already clinched this series to make it 7 consecutive series they have won. And Yu Darvish looking for victory number 11, which would tie him with David Price and teammate Matt Harrison atop the American League. Crisp, a .219 hitter. Switch hitter up there from the left side. And Yu Darvish goes to work. And the fastball is a belt-high strike. Coco Crisp, 4 out of 13 in this series. You see the last 15 games, he has really done yeoman's work at that leadoff spot. He switched places with Jamal Weeks 2 weeks ago. 1 ball, 1 strike. 83-degree evening here. It cooled off some 10 degrees as that rain front went through. Still have the wind coming out of the south at about 10 to maybe 12 miles an hour. The 1-1 pitch from Darvish. Topper, Napoli off nicely and gives Darvish a very early feed, and that's a great play by Napoli. That's what you want to do. Give the pitcher a chance to catch the ball and then go to first base with his eyes on the bag.
The angle that he had, Buzz, it looked like if he waited much longer, Darvish would have gone by him and made the flip pretty tough. He would have had to throw it all the way to the bag to lead him.
That's right. That's right. Well played. And we've seen another facet of Yu Darvish's game. Certainly Mike Napoli has shown us good stuff at first base, but Darvish has really shown to be an excellent fielding pitcher, covering the bags and fielding his position extremely well. So one gone, and Jemile Weeks now will step in. Weeks, like Crisp, a switch hitter, and the numbers, down from the great first year that he had last year with Oakland, down about 80 points in the batting average. And there's a strike on the inside corner. That fastball coming in at 95, and that's been a rare thing that we have seen from Yu Darvish. Is normally he reserves 95 till later on in the game. He'll come out and pitch it anywhere from 90 to 93, and then when he needs it later on, he has it in the tank. A ball and a strike to Jemile Weeks.
Pop that one in there at 96.
Might be feeling good. Maybe the rain shower refreshed him too.
Well, it's a little better than normal. It's in the 80s now, 85 instead of 105, so a little humid, but temperature-wise a little nicer.
There's that 72-mile-an-hour bender that Jemile Weeks just kind of watched into the glove of Torrealba. I think we remarked last time about how Darvish is able to make that ball spin so quickly and not throw it very hard. That's a unique ability to have. Now the right-hander's 1-2 pitch. Wow. Got him swinging. Breaking ball down and in, and Weeks had basically no chance on that. Torrealba finishes it by tossing to Napoli.
The one before it was like a slow curveball that he just dropped in for a strike. Then he gets 2 strikes, and now he breaks off the hard curveball when he's going for the strikeout. Here's the one for strike 2. Boom, just drops it in there. Now with 2 strikes, here comes the hard one, and that's the one he couldn't lay off of with 2 strikes. Just not fair when you can do that.
I don't know if the Ranger players feel like that. They're probably pretty happy to have.
They're all glad they don't have to hit against them.
That's right.
If they're honest, anyway.
So 2 gone, bases empty. Josh Reddick steps in.
Well, Darvish is 7th in the league in opponent's batting average, which tells you how hard he is to hit. 228.
And it's going to be a very quick 1-2-3 first inning on 8 pitches for Yu Darvish. Elvis handles that pop-up. 3 up, 3 down for the A's. Rangers coming to bat in the bottom of the first, scoreless in Arlington. hosted by Ron Washington today. Kinsler and then Elvis Andrus, the shortstop. Josh Hamilton in left field, bats third. DHing today, batting cleanup, Adrian Beltre. Michael Young gets to start at third, bats fifth. Kelly Cruz in right field. Mike Napoli hits seventh and plays first. And Yorby Torrealba will handle the catching chores. Craig Gentry in center field, batting ninth.
Check out the Nissan scouting report for Travis Blackley. Nice ERA in 13 games. 6 of them have been starts. Last 3 starts in particular. 214 earned run average. Opponent's average below 200. He was acquired from San Francisco on a waiver claim on May 15th. Oakland has had a lot of injuries to their starting pitching staff, and Blackley has filled in and done a pretty nice job. He pitched against the Rangers back on the 5th of June. The Rangers beat him with 5 runs in 4 2/3 innings. Last 3 games, though, have been a lot better than that.
Here's Ian. 1 ball, no strikes to count to him. And Blackley misses up and in. You know, I wonder, just watching these two guys, Tom, if there's ever been a game in Major League Baseball where both starting pitchers worked from the stretch.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd say it's rare, though.
Yeah, I would think so. 2-0 pitch, and a little slow roller out to short. Pennington. And that is out number 1. Let's take a look at the Athletics defense behind Travis Blackley. Seth Smith in left field. Cespedes and Reddick in center and right. Brandon Moss at first. Jamal Weeks and Cliff Pennington. Brandon Inge at third. Derek Norris will handle the left-hander, Travis Blackley, tonight. So here's Elvis. Brings an 8-game hitting streak into play here this evening. An average, pretty heady air where Elvis is, a 305. Blackley's first pitch to him is a little bit low and outside for ball 1. Derek Norris flashing the signs out for Blackley. He has the one he wants. Elvis, a shot up the middle. That's into center field. A base hit. Elvis going out and getting a pitch out away from him, and strong enough to drive it through the middle of the diamond for the 1-out single.
Yeah, I think when your basic approach is trying to drive the ball back through the middle or to right center field, it really helps you if you're fooled slightly or when you might be a little bit out in front of it, because with the approach to go the other way, it allows you to still get a pretty good piece of the ball and drive it into center field for a base hit. If you're trying to pull the ball, you probably pull that ball 20 feet foul.
Here's Hamilton. He had a big rip at that fastball, and that's a pitch that Josh doesn't miss very much. When he's on it, he usually barrels that thing up. He fouled it straight back. It's 0-1. Saw the numbers on Hamilton. 25 home runs, the second in baseball to Jose Bautista. Elvis Andrus at first base with 1 out. Blackley has an excellent pickoff move. Check swing on a breaky ball. He went around. Home plate umpire Manny Gonzalez ruled it a strike. It's 0-2 to Josh. Fastest player in Ranger history to get to 25 home runs. 79 games is all it took Josh to get to that level. He's down on the count here. Pretty good move right there, and he's got him picked off in the rundown, and Pennington, the shortstop, makes the tag. And we were telling you about Blackley's pickoff move, and Elvis got a real good look at it.
Yeah, that shouldn't have been a secret to Elvis that he had a good pickoff move. But that was a great move. That picked me off from up here. He looked over there, and then it looked like he was going to the plate. At least that's what Elvis thought.
Yep.
But he didn't.
So Elvis erased on the 1-3-6.
And you can't force it.
Check swing, and that pitch is outside. A ball and 2 strikes to Hamilton.
Yeah, and I think Wash would be the first one to say, you know, there's nights where, as aggressive as we want to be, the opposing pitcher can shut us down with a move like that.
figure out some way to get for the hitters to get him out of the game. That'll pick it up a little bit. 1-2 pitch. Yeah, that slow breaking ball is just a little bit low. It's 2-2. Hamilton, you saw with the 73 RBI. That leads all of baseball. He also leads in slugging percentage. All major leaguers. 2-2 pitch on the way. Right into the teeth of the ship as the shortstop Pennington takes it on the first base side of second. And that will do it for the Rangers. No runs, a hit, and nobody left. Pickoff took care of Elvis. We played an inning in Arlington. We are scoreless, the Rangers and the A's. And Jim Knox. Jim.
All right, thank you, Buzz. Ranger fans looking for the sweep tonight, right, huh? There we go. Community Corner tonight. Ian and Tess Kinsler once again hosted a big group of children from the Sunshine Kids. Sunshine Kids, of course, a national nonprofit organization dedicated to helping kids with cancer. To find out more, log on to sunshinekids.com. Buzz?
All right, Jim, thank you. Well, the middle of the order now to face Yu Darvish as we start the second. And Yoenis Cespedes takes a little bit low for ball one. Cespedes just been a headache for the Rangers. Those numbers you see on the year, pretty good numbers for the rookie center fielder, rookie outfielder. And he's hit over 500 against the Rangers so far in 2012. Check swing, he went around, and it was a foul tip. It went into and out of the glove of Yorvi Torrealba.
He's looking fastball all the way. Got fooled. Couldn't hold his swing back. Definitely got some big-time wristbands on.
Yeah, he does.
That's a good look right there. Big wristbands up to the elbow. Robo gloves. Man.
1-1 pitch. And that's outside. Cespedes was hurt in the game that Yu Darvish started in Oakland. He went 1 for 1 and then pulled a hamstring. And that saw him out of action for a few days. It's kind of lingered, hit him at times and not so bad at other times. Up and in with a fastball. It's 3 balls and 1 strike. And Cespedes in that game against Yu Darvish had a single. Got to second base, and that's when he pulled the hamstring. He was running the bases when that happened. The 3-1 pitch from Darvish. Got him with that breaking ball, kind of a frisbee type slider that he'll throw.
It's such an advantage to a pitcher when you're in a fastball count. If you can throw something other than a fastball. That wasn't the perfect location, but the fact that it wasn't a fastball was enough to make the swing and miss for Cespedes.
Well, the count has gone full to the leadoff hitter in the second inning. Darvish okays the sign. He's ready to go. Payoff pitch on the way. Breaking ball got him swinging.
Well, usually to a power hitter, you're down 3-1. He's in the driver's seat. Looking for a fastball. Don't want to walk the leadoff hitter. No problem for Darvish. He throws a couple of sliders and gets the swing and a miss.
And even that, not ideally located by Darvish, but enough off speed and enough break to get Cespedes. As a hitter, when you see people talk about that backup slider that spins and really goes the other way a little bit. Do hitters recognize the spin and think to themselves breaking ball and then a little bit late on it?
Yeah, I'm not sure that last pitch was a backup slider.
No,
but when you do, you see the spin and you anticipate the break going away from you. And if it just spins and goes straight, it fools you.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. Yeah. If you could throw a backup slider on purpose, that'd be a good pitch.
It would be. You're right. Seth Smith is the hitter, and he takes high. That's 2 balls and no strikes now.
You do see more pitchers, though, I think. Have you noticed throwing a cutter or maybe a slider, a right-hand pitcher inside to a right-hand hitter?
Yeah.
You didn't used to see that very much.
No, because it used to be most hitters were pull hitters, pull-oriented hitters. There's a fastball strike.
Yeah,
and if you're
doing them a favor.
Yeah, you probably wouldn't get that back very often. That pitch back, anyway. But yeah, a lot of guys now going the other way, going up the middle of the diamond the other way, and that's really not a bad pitch. I wouldn't throw it in there a whole lot, but it's certainly one way to get a quick strike on somebody. That's fouled away, and Darvish has come back now to even the count at 2-2. Take a look at the Ford leaderboard. The American League strikeout leaders. And there's Yu Darvish, 4th, including the 2 he has tonight. A couple of Tigers up there. Verlander leading things, and Max Scherzer not too far behind. Pretty impressive group of strikeout artists. And the folks start chanting "you." The pitch fouled away by Seth Smith. It's interesting listening to Darvish that when people ask him about him being an all-star, no, he said, I walk too many people. Well, he takes himself a little more, he takes his statistics a little more seriously, I think, than some other folks do. I mean, he wants it to be perfect, and you got to admire him for that, the competitor that he is. Smith, a drive to right field, going back as Cruzy comes in and makes the catch. That ball must have sunk on him, maybe had a little overspin, because Nelly started back and then had to reach back to his right to make that grab.
I thought it bounced. Must not have. Great play. Let's take a look. Not hit quite as hard as it looked like, evidently. Stayed with it and made the play.
Nelly, a big grin on his face, whether that's because of the play he made on his birthday or whether it's because he got away with one. Not quite sure. That was a nice play nonetheless. So 2 outs, and Derek Norris, the young catcher, coming up. Norris having a pretty good series here against the Rangers. 4 for 7 with a home run.
He looks like a good hitter. Doesn't try to pull the ball. Goes back through the middle with power.
Takes ball 1, low and outside.
Short swing.
5-game hitting streak, encompassing the couple of games he's played in this series.
Talked about his beard earlier in this series. Works a lot better when it's 58 degrees in Oakland than it does when it's 100 degrees in Texas.
1-0 pitch. And that fastball is at 95 and thrown on by him. And Derek Norris getting his first look at Yu Darvish. You know, one thing you were saying, Tom, though, about Darvish, it doesn't matter the second time around, third time around, and we're seeing why. There's a swing and a miss. He has so many different ways to pitch people that even if he has trouble the first time against somebody, they may not see the same sequence or same pitches ever again from him.
Yeah, exactly. And the people that started to make a big deal out of facing the same team twice probably haven't played a whole lot of baseball. I mean, within our division, you played each team 6 different series. You're going to face people more than once. Every pitcher has to face teams back-to-back or multiple times in a season. And so who's better equipped to do it? Guys with good stuff or guys with bad stuff?
Well, that's a good point.
The better your stuff, the more equipped you are to face anybody.
Right.
I mean, it'd be nice if you only faced a different team every time you pitched. But when you get 34 starts, it stands to reason you're going to face some teams in our division 3 or 4 times and occasionally 6 times. And if you've got his stuff, you don't have a problem unless you have bad stuff that day. If you walk guys, make bad pitches, then it doesn't matter if it's the first time or the 10th time that you see somebody. They're gonna light you up. But if Darvish has his good stuff, he could pitch against the same team every day for 162 games. It wouldn't matter.
Well, he set down the 2-2 pitch on the way to North. And he's fouled back at a little bit off speed on that one at 85 miles an hour, and he got away with one there. That was up just about letter high to Norris.
Yeah, that's one. He's lucky that thing didn't hang a little bit more. It had just enough break on it that Norris fouled it off. The other thing we remark on Darvish every time he pitches, he doesn't playing peekaboo. He doesn't change his demeanor on the mound at all. That face stays the same every inning.
Call strike 3. Fastball to the outside corner at 95 miles an hour. Couple of strikeouts in the inning, 3 on the evening for Yu Darvish. He's retired 6 straight. We'll go to the bottom of the second. Still scoreless. The Rangers and the A's on Fox Sports Southwest.
Night here at Rangers Ballpark in Arlington. A very big day here at the ballpark, especially for one Matt Harrison, named to his first ever All-Star game. He couldn't have been more excited.
Pretty surreal, I guess. I mean, can't really explain it. I mean, it really hadn't sunk in all the way yet. I guess it will in the week and when I get out there on the field with the rest of those guys. And, you know, I'm just honored to have this opportunity. I'm very humbled, and I can't believe it. It's crazy.
Matt Harrison with tonight's Geico quote of the game, guys.
Adrian Beltre going to deep center. That ball's going to stay in the park, though, as Cespedes about halfway back on the warning track, able to haul it in. That was high enough where the wind blowing in really had a negative effect on it.
I agree. I think the wind stopped that ball. That's a little more of a line drive than it probably carries out of here.
let's go back down to him. Go ahead, Em.
Yeah, when I said Matt Harrison was excited, I meant in that cool North Carolina relaxed kind of way.
Well, he may not have showed it then, but he's excited, believe me.
Absolutely, absolutely.
The 1-away, here's Michael Young. And he takes a strike at the knees from Blackley.
I think it took Matt a while to get used to the fact that he deserved to be in the big leagues. And then he won 14 games last year, and his confidence soared. He pitched in the postseason. And when you look at what he did last year and what he's done this year, it's not a favor to be in the All-Star game. He earned it. He's he's one of the best pitchers in the league, and has been now for a year and a half. He deserves it.
Yeah, he deserves it, but doesn't expect it. And I think
it's new to him.
Yeah. You know, there may come a point 10 years down the road where he expects to be in the All-Star game, because that means he's still pitching well.
Right. And I guess if you go back prior to last season, when he was left off the postseason roster, and then just a year and a half later.
Well, they drive to left field, but Seth Smith able to stay down under the sun and making the catch for out number 2. Well, this Saturday, the Rangers turn back the clock to 1994. And the first 30,000 fans will receive a 40th anniversary mug, compliments of Coca-Cola. Game time is 6:15. The Minnesota Twins are in town. Reserve your seats at TexasRangers.com or call 972-RANGERS. A 2 up, 2 out, and Nelly Cruz stands in. His 32nd birthday, and he goes after the first pitch toward left center field. Cespedes can't cut it off. It's to the wall, and Cruz is going to second with a stand-up 2-bagger.
There's some ropes at this inning. Beltre to the wall in center field. Michael Young a line shot to left, and now Nelly a line shot double to the gap.
You keep throwing Nelly about thigh high out over the plate, he's going to hit 9,000 off it. That's right in his wheelhouse.
That went up a little bit, it'd be in the bullpen.
Now Nelly Cruz safe at second, safe and secure New York life. Well, the first Ranger gets in the scoring position this afternoon. The birthday boy out there at second. Here's Mike Napoli, the starting catcher for the American League All-Star team this year. Looks at a bender in there for strike 1 from Blackley. First All-Star game for Mike Napoli, and first catcher that the Rangers have had other than Ivan Rodriguez to be a starting catcher. Crowd getting that Napoli chant going as Blackley comes set. Swing and a miss. And that pitch down and in. Only catcher in Ranger history to start an All-Star game. That will occur on July the 10th in Kansas City for Nap. Trying to pick up Nelly Cruz here. Scoreless ball game in the bottom of the second, and Blackley's pitch outside. Mike's still struggling from time to time, and he's the first to admit, he said, look, I just haven't found it yet. It'll click, but very much like last year. He's got Nelly Cruz out there at second to try and pick up here, so the focus will be a little bit more intense for him. And this time last year was when he was coming off the disabled list, and he caught fire and didn't cool off. Not until December. 2-2 now the count. Last year, Napoli establishing career highs in just about every offensive category. Blackley staring in for the sign. And he has the one he wants from Derek Norris, his catcher. Couple of checks of second base, the 2-2 pitch. Pennington, the shortstop. There's a little skimmer out there and fires on to first. That'll do it. Well, the Rangers are gone, and Blackley works around a 2-out double by Nelly Cruz. On to the third we go, still scoreless. Rangers and A's. Is brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers. If you want to break up with a vehicle that's breaking down, then head to your Texas Ford dealer and drive the best in Texas. By AT the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. And by Jack in the Box. Right now you can try Jack's Chipotle Chicken Club Combo for only $4.99 plus tax. Well, on we go to the top of the third inning. Yu Darvish has retired the first 6 A's that he has faced. He will now face the bottom of the order, Brandon Moss, to start things off, to be followed by Brandon Inge and Cliff Pennington. And a strike with a fastball, knee-high outside corner from Darvish. Brandon Moss, 1 out of 4 in this series. And you see the numbers for Moss for the year, that .224 average. Only 12 RBI, though, for Moss. And a breaking ball inside, it hit him, and he's going to first base. That slow hook at 72 miles an hour, and Moss was more than happy to become the first A's base runner by taking that one off the front side.
Yeah, he wasn't going to move his foot. He knew that's his best chance to get on base, is to get hit by that pitch. And leadoff man on base, why not?
The Moss aboard, and that is something that he has done quite frequently, and that's being hit by a pitch. I don't know why. He's normally, they say that you normally only throw at the good hitters, and Moss doesn't qualify there yet, but that has been the case. Now Brandon Inge, he takes a fastball high for ball 1. Inge dropped down to the third slot in the Oakland order here this evening. He's been in a little bit of a tailspin. As a matter of fact, he's been on a roller coaster since he came to Oakland from Detroit. Takes a breaking ball for a strike. See the last 15 games, a 184 average, and the 9 games before that, 406. Jekyll and Hyde for Brandon Inge. Swinging strike on the fastball. It's 1-2 now. Yu Darvish, I'm not going to say his control has been impeccable today, but it's certainly a lot better early in the ball games than we have seen him even of late when he's been winning ball games. And normally, if he is going to have problems, they come in the first couple of innings command wise. Then he tends to settle down. He's been pretty good from the outset. And Inge can't check his swing. He has gone on strikes as Darvish records his 4th punch-out.
Yeah, tonight, it's a pretty good idea if you're facing Darvish to put it in play before you get 2 strikes. You say, yeah, well, look how far away that pitch was. Why did he swing at it? Well, just not that easy. You got to gear up to hit a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. And you don't know what's coming. Not that easy to lay off of that.
Well, Darvish with 4 strikeouts this evening, and now he'll face Cliff Pennington, the switch-hitting shortstop for Oakland, and the first pitch is outside for ball 1. Pennington hit his 3rd home run of the year here in the first ball game of this series. His only hit in the series against the Rangers. Darvish, a check of first. And the pitch up the middle should be 2. Andrus to the bag himself on to Napoli, a 6-3 double play. And that takes care of the hit batter. Darvish has faced the minimum through 3. Rangers coming to bat in the bottom of the 3rd. A scoreless ball game from Rangers Ballpark in Arlington. Vote Yu Darvish as the final American League All-Star. Just go to TexasRangers.com and cast your 2012 All-Star Game final vote and send Yu Darvish to Kansas City along with 7 of his teammates. Now, there's no limit to the number of times you can vote, but voting does end this Thursday, July 5th at 3 o'clock in the afternoon Central Time. So vote early, vote often, vote now, vote you. Yorvi Torrealba to start things off. And Blackley's first pitch, a big breaking curveball, and it's in for strike 1. Torrealba at .224 with the average. A couple of home runs and 11 driven in. That's out of play to the right.
Buzz, I got to start chipping away. I got 2 days worth of news.
That's right. We had a little backup there.
We do. I want to thank the Williams family from Dallas. They sent some toffee. It's a famous family recipe, and it won the State Fair of Texas Candy Contest. So you got to try some of that. Thank you to the Williams family. Ranger cookies, homemade by Diane Johnson from Denton, Texas. Thank you, Diane.
Torrealba to left field. That's going to be in there for a base hit.
And thank you for that, Yorvi.
Yeah. That might have won something at the State Fair of Texas, too.
Got some homemade chocolate pecan cake from Donna Reams and family. Got some people here from Claremont, Oklahoma. That would be the Esau family. Abby, Colin, Isabel, and Claire. Thank you very much for the cupcakes. Got some red, white, and marble cupcakes fresh vanilla buttercream. Wow. Keels from Fort Worth. Joe, Gary, Anita, Dave, and the rest of the Lot M tailgate group. Thank you very much, tailgate group. Imagine you guys get together quite frequently out there and share those sweets. Thank you for sharing them with us.
And Torrealba picked off. Weeks will make the tag. My goodness, the second pickoff executed by Travis Blackley tonight.
Yeah, I mean, once you've seen it once, you just don't get off. You don't take your secondary lead till you know the ball's going to the plate. He'll pick you off.
Now that one goes 1-3-4, and the leadoff single erased, one gone.
He's not even going anywhere.
Nope.
He took a step back to first and still got picked off. It's the kind of move that in the middle of the move, he makes a move to make you think he's going home. Jorvik, early in the move, took a little stutter step back toward first, then thought he was okay. He wasn't stealing. There was no hit and run on. He just got plain picked off.
And Gentry bunts that ball foul as it rolls down the first baseline. It's
Watch Torrealba's left foot right here. He's going to take a step back to first. Thinks he's okay. He's not going anywhere. He's just taking his secondary lead. I think the advice you would give to the base runners right now is anchor yourself and don't take your secondary lead until you see the ball leave the pitcher's hand and go toward the hitter.
Yeah.
That's some kind of move, boy. One thing to pick a guy off when he's stealing, but when you're not going anywhere, that has to be a great move.
Next pitch to Craig is hit high in the air to left field. Not an easy play for Smith because he has his son to battle, but he takes care of it. That's out number 2, and we'll bring up Ian Kinsler.
Some of the best cookies we get come from Ashley Randall and Melissa Bennett from their restaurant in Tyler, Texas. Handmade from scratch daily using only the finest ingredients. Thank you very much, Ashley and Melissa. They were great. We shared those with the press box tonight. Got some shortbread from Mia Miva. I think that's how you pronounce it. Thank you, Mia. It was very nice of you.
That is crushed, but it's going well foul off the bat of Kinsler.
We got some red, white, and blue cupcakes from Mackenzie McAden. She's 13 years old from Corinth, Texas. And oatmeal cream pies from Sean and Jennifer Lambright, celebrating 18 years of marriage today. Boy, we get so much stuff from people who are celebrating milestones. A new batch of cookies from Shirley Coast, our cookie lady. She calls them Darvalicious to honor you, Darvish, tonight. That was nice of you, Shirley. He might just honor you with a gem tonight. At least he's on his way to one right now.
1-1 to Kinsler.
This is the first time we've ever gotten something like this. From the Wounded Warriors softball game, soldiers from Fort Hood Warrior Transition Battalion, Lieutenant Colonel Christopher Cook, sent up 2 batches of MREs, meal ready to eat military meals. Wow, what an honor from the Wounded Warriors.
Kinsler down the third baseline. It's a fair ball and headed to the corner. Smith over to dig it out of that corner, and Ian Kinsler. A 2-out double. He is the league leader with 2 baggers. He's added 1 more to his resume, and he's in scoring position with 2 outs for Elvis Andrus.
He's in pretty good shape without the pickoffs. Rangers have had some pretty good swings at Blackley so far in this game. Good swing by Ian results in a double. Richard and Suzette Schreiber and friends from Dumas, Texas. Tom and Martha Ames. Ranger peach cobbler and cookies. Suzette's Bakery. Thank you very much for those, Suzette. It's always great. Not the first time we've heard from her.
Here's Elvis, who singled his first time up. And the off-speed pitch is in and over.
Belinda Cooley sent up World Series pecan fried pies. Wants to say hi to Mima watching at home in DeSoto. And here's one, Buzz. Happy 65th anniversary to Norman and Lil Cates. Now that's a milestone.
Wow, that is. Check the hits leaderboard. Beltre, Anderson, Kinsler back to back to back. 3, 4, and 5.
Some baked s'mores cookies from Ethan and Caroline Barbie from Lubbock with a P.S. Be sure Knox gets one. All right, we'll save one for Jim.
Yeah.
We'll appreciate that. Red Velvet Cupcakes are from the 11-year-old East Texas Astros from Pittsburgh, Texas. 48 people in their group here tonight. Thank you very much for that. And good luck to the Astros from Pittsburgh. Got a huge goodie basket, which was very nice. Compliments of the Nick Gonzalez Foundation and the DFW Brain Tumor Community. Thank you very much for that.
Elvis awaiting the 0-2 pitch. And it's a little bit low.
We got a flower bouquet from the Balloon Man from Tyler, Texas. Wants to say happy 83rd birthday to his mom, Faye McCullough, in Breckenridge, Texas. So happy birthday, Faye.
Blackley, a check of Kinsler. And back to Andrews. Looping drive to right. That's in for a base hit. Kinsler around third. Here comes Reddick's throw. It's cut off. And Elvis is in a rundown, but Kinsler scores. And Elvis Andrews, with his second base hit of the day, gives the Rangers a 1-0 lead. He was tagged out to end the inning, but the Rangers are on the board. So we finished 3 at Rangers Ballpark. It's Texas 1, Oakland 0 on Fox Sports Southwest. One 0 with the RBI single by Elvis Andrews. Meanwhile, Yu Darvish has faced the minimum 9 hitters with 4 punch-outs. Andrews, that RBI single, the game's only run so far. And Darvish now getting set to work in the top of the 4th inning. He'll work to the top of the order. Coco Crisp, Jemile Weeks, and Josh Reddick. A's have had exactly 1 base runner. That was Brandon Moss leading off the 3rd inning as he was hit by a pitch. And Crisp takes a big breaking ball that bites the inside corner for strike 1. Darvish back to the plate. Check swing. The pitch is just a bit low. Looks like a cut fastball that time. It's 1-1. Got some more there, Tom?
Got a couple more to finish up, Buzz. Didn't quite get through them last inning. I want to thank Sky McLaren for the sample she sent from her allergen-free bakery.
Little loop around to left field. In a hurry is Hamilton. He dives, slides, but he trapped it. Hamilton, a good effort. Looked like he thought the ball was going to carry a little bit further than it did by the angle he took. And at the last moment, he went into that slide and apparently short hopped the ball.
Yeah, I think the angle might have had something to do with the sun, Buzz.
Okay.
On that soft line drive like that, that's the one that gives you headaches. And the game starting at 6 o'clock, that might have been a sun problem for Josh. Tough to say.
Yep.
Because there was nothing unusual about the way the ball was hit. I think if it was nighttime with the lights out there, might have had a different route. Just a guess.
It makes a lot of sense, and you've been out there enough to realize that that certainly has an impact on it. Now, Weeks showing bunt pulls the bat back, and the fastball is high as Darvish missed. Well, the first hit of the afternoon off of Darvish, a looping single by Coco Crisp. And Jemile Weeks a strikeout in the first inning. While Coco Crisp has really flourished going into the leadoff spot, Jemile Weeks has not had the same kind of reaction to the second spot in the order. He takes a strike.
Last one to thank, Brenda and David McGuire from Brownwood, Texas. This is a first. We got a homemade litter bag for the car made by Brenda McGuire. Thank you, Brenda. That's unique. We appreciate that.
Weeks stepping back in, a count of 1 ball, 1 strike. Weeks has hit .211 in his time as the number 2 hitter behind Coco Crisp. Darvish back to the plate. Ground ball right to Young. He goes to second quickly. The return by Kinsler is not in time. Well, bang bang play at first. Rangers almost doubled up 2 of the toughest guys to double up in the league.
Yeah, that would have been a great double play. And Michael got rid of the ball perfectly a little before Ian got to the bag, but the angle that Michael had, he's throwing it right straight to Ian, who comes across the bag, turns it as quickly as he can, and he just can't quite get the speedy Weeks at first base, but it's a great try.
Yeah, I don't think you could turn it any quicker than that, could you?
I don't think so.
Man.
You didn't have time to wait for Ian to get to first, and it really didn't matter because he's coming straight toward Michael anyway.
Right.
But on the dead run like that, I don't think there's anything Ian could have done to get it there quicker than that.
Well, now it's Weeks at first with 1 out, and Josh Reddick is the hitter. Reddick popped out to Elvis Andrus to finish the first inning. Reddick bringing a modest 2-game hitting streak into play here tonight. First pitch to him is a fastball strike, thigh high outside corner.
Last one I didn't see. Happy 40th anniversary to Paulette and Joe Wagner. And there are the Wagners. Happy anniversary, Paulette and Joe. There's Peter filling in for Steve. Hi, Peter. Need some shades?
0-1 pitch is sliced down the left field line. That's going to tail back into the seats as Hamilton comes over to take a look, but it's 7 or 8 rows deep. Well, the count moves to 0-2 on Reddick.
We continue to send our best to Steve Tennyson, too. Hope you're back soon, Steve. Got a lot of friends out here thinking about you.
Reddick now in his career against Darvish 0 for 6 with 4 strikeouts. And Darvish has the advantage here. No balls and 2 strikes. Weeks an excellent base stealer at first, measuring out a modest lead. And Darvish back to the plate. Got him swinging. Make that 5 strikeouts and 7 at bats.
We'll talk about it later.
And before Cespedes comes in, let's go to Jim Knox again.
All right, Buzz, we have a great group of soldiers from the Warrior Transition Brigade from Fort Hood in the house tonight. Courtesy Scott Feldman and his wife Kelly, as well as Fox Sports Southwest. This is Sergeant Queen. And you guys actually played a game before the Rangers game against a lot of former greats like Mark McLemore, Jeff Russell, Rusty Greer, right? How was that?
Oh, that was awesome. Playing on Ranger Field was a dream come true. Meeting all the former players. I mean, they're beasts. They're bigger than you think they are. It was just amazing and a great experience.
Now, some of your co-mates right here, they told me that you actually got a hit off Jeff Russell.
Yeah, RBI single, put it up the middle. It was pretty fun.
You got to meet some of the current Ranger players before the game as well. What was that like?
Yes, sir. It was awesome. Met Felice, Beltre, Perez, the guy who won the game last night. So that was pretty awesome. Yeah.
Well, good to have you out here tonight. Keep up the great work, guys. Enjoy the rest of the game. Thank you very much. Good job. Appreciate it. Buzz?
All right, Nachi,
thank them for the MREs, Jim. Yeah. First time we ever got anything like that. It's an honor.
All right, we'll do it. Thanks.
First pitch to Cespedes on the outside corner, and Darvish jumps ahead 0-1.
This is one of the lower pitch totals for this stage of the game, and one of the better strike-to-ball ratios, too, Buzz.
Yeah, he has really been, as they say, pounding that strike zone. 44th pitch coming up, but 30 strikes of the first 43 pitches. That's very, very well done by the right-hander. Darvish paying quite a bit of attention to Weeks now with 2 outs at first base. And the pitch to Cespedes is a bit low. It's 1 ball, 1 strike.
The fewest batters that Yu has walked in a game was the last start against the Tigers. He walked 1 batter and struck out 10. So he's a pretty good trend, if you want to call it. It could be a trend yet. No walks tonight, only 1 in his last start. And you can tell by his comment about the All-Star game, Buzz, that he's concerned about that, and he's working at it.
Yeah, and, most guys you would just kind of say, poo-poo that idea that, I've walked too many people. I'm going to work on that and try to get better. I mean, that's, it's nice lip service, but Darvish takes that to heart. I mean, that's, for him to walk that many people, he considers that a personal failure on his part. And he's going to bust his tail to get better at it. 1-1 pitch, check swing, he went around. Boy, that was that 95-mile-an-hour four-seam fastball. It was almost like a hard slider. The amount of movement it had. Look at that thing run out there.
The other thing about Darvish, I haven't had a chance to talk to him because of obvious reasons, but I don't think he's surprised at all to be 10-4 right now. And I think if he was totally honest, he would say he's slightly disappointed he hasn't done better.
Yeah.
As well as he's done. I mean, he didn't come over here just trying to be a good big league pitcher. He came over as one of the best pitchers in the history of the Japanese league, and that's what he wants to be over here.
1-2 pitch. Just a bit low.
That last sinker was 97 miles an hour.
And that walk we were just talking about, Tom, was the first batter of the game in Detroit.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's
Austin
right.
Jackson.
That's
and so
right.
he worked the 8 innings in that game without walking a hitter, other than Austin Jackson. And he has been right around home plate here this evening. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Weeks measuring out a little bit larger lead this time. Swung on and missed, and Cespedes is gone for the 2nd time tonight. That is 6 strikeouts. Folks, start voting. Go to TexasRangers.com and get you to the All-Star game. 3.5 gone by. Rangers 1-0 over Oakland on Fox Sports Southwest. Question. Pulled this out of the trivia library yesterday, the anniversary of the last home run by a Ranger pitcher. That was Bobby Witt. Who was the pitcher for Witt's home run? Who was the opposing pitcher that Bobby Witt hit the ball off of? Think about that for a half an inning or so, and we'll let you know. I know Bobby Witt remembers who it was. He probably remembers exactly what the pitch was and what the count was. And you don't forget things that like that. Well, here's Josh Hamilton leading off the Ranger fourth inning. A busted bat looper out towards second base. Weeks had to dodge the business into that bat and made the play. That thing splintered into maybe a half a dozen pieces.
Yeah, that wasn't a case of throwing the bat. That's just a case of a smashed bat with the end of the bat going farther than the baseball. Yeah, very seldom will a second baseman playing deep field a ground ball and have to worry about the bat flying at him. Oh, man.
The one gone and one bat down. That's pretty good focus. Weeks, I don't blame Weeks for juggling that a little bit. I'm sure he was checking out where that lumber was going. That's a large toothpick. First pitch to Beltre is a bit outside for ball one. Adrian Sky deep to center field his first time up. He put Cespedes back on the warning track in dead center. Next pitch to him is outside. It's 2 balls and no strikes. Adrian voted in by the fans for the first time as the starter at third base. All-Star game coming up on July 10th in Kansas City. 2-0 pitch. That's a strike on the inside corner. In between innings now, folks. You guys go to TexasRangers.com and vote Yu Darvish in there. Love to see another Ranger get into that All-Star Gala in Kansas City. 2-1. That's a strike. Let's go down to Emily Jones. Em?
Well, guys, Adrian Beltre talking today about what an honor it is, of course, to be voted into the All-Star game, and also, too, to take so many teammates with him. He feels like they will have a little bit more of an advantage because they'll be more in control because so many of them are there. And considering where they've ended up the last couple of years, it means more now than ever.
You know what ex-player watches almost every game?
No.
Rusty Greer.
Does he?
Yep. He answered your trivia question quicker than Bobby Witt could have answered it. He just texted me the answer.
Rusty and Witter were pretty good friends, too. And that I'm sure Bobby made Rusty aware of all the specifics on that as quickly as he possibly could. 2-2 pitch to Beltre, and that's fouled off.
I wasn't sure what the answer was. I just checked, and Rusty was right. I'm not going to say what the answer is yet, but Rusty was right. I was hoping he'd be wrong so I could get on him.
Blackley, a long look in to Derek Norris. Now the left-hander ready, and again the 2-2 pitch. And again, Beltre hanging tough, fouled off a pretty good breaking ball.
I think ex-players remain fans of the game in many different ways and to a lot of different degrees. But Rusty's out here a lot. I can tell from talking to him that he watches almost every game, so he remains a diehard fan, student of the game.
Yep.
Rusty was out here along with Mac for the Wounded Warriors game. Pitch was about a foot outside.
Adrian Beltre in a defensive mode has fouled off a couple of pretty tough pitches. Yeah, you're right. That was about a foot outside.
Yeah, the only surprising thing was that he was able to make contact with that pitch. Or maybe the surprising thing was he didn't line it into right field for a base hit.
2-2 the count. Beltre up there. Bases empty, 1 out. Rangers leading 1-0. We're playing in the bottom of the 4th inning. Change up. Call strike 3. He took something off that. Blackley had a little comeback changeup inside to Beltre, and it came back to catch the corner. And Blackley gets his first strikeout of the afternoon. Now join us at On the Border for dinner every Wednesday night through August the 8th and enter to win free Ranger tickets. Visit iloveontheborder.com for more details. So 2 outs. That brings up Michael Young. Young lined hard to left field his first time to the plate. And he goes the other way this time, but that's playable for Reddick. Backs a couple of steps up, makes the catch. Rangers gone in order in the 4th. After 4 complete in Arlington, it's the Rangers 1, the A's 0 on Fox Sports Southwest. Yesterday, the anniversary of the last home run by a Rangers pitcher, and that, of course, was Bobby Witt. Who was the pitcher that served up that gopher ball? Ismael Valdez, the Los Angeles Dodgers, June 30th, 1997. Bobby Witt taking him deep in Dodger Stadium, which is not an easy place to hit home runs. And Bobby Witt said, no park is too big for me. I'll serve that stuff up here, and I'll just take it on out. Darvish ready to go to work here in the top of the 5th inning. Rangers on top 1-0, and Seth Smith, the left fielder, leads things off. Pitch outside for ball 1. Time for the AT&T U-verse reverse replay, and there is Bobby Witt going deep. Valdez getting that pitch up to Witt. See you later. That's got to be 440, 450.
Well, it's Dodger Stadium. That's not an easy home run ballpark.
That's right.
Deep part of the ballpark.
And at night.
Yeah, no kidding. That's pretty impressive.
Well, we'd like to welcome in Mark McLemore, co-host of Rangers Live. Mac, glad to have you along.
Good to be here again.
You guys took part in that softball game today with the Wounded Warriors. That something special, isn't it?
It was very special. You know, just a chance for us to go out there and give back to them just a little bit of what they've given to all of us. And you know, they were so tickled. You know, I got out. I was able to meet all of them, and they were just. You know, their eyes were wide-eyed, and you know, I said, "No, it's us that
right.
You know that owes you the debt of gratitude. You guys are the heroes, not us."
Darvish with a 2-1 pitch. That chop foul. Yeah, it seems logical. The roles should be reversed, where we ought to be asking them for autographs and that kind of thing. I mean, compared to what we in the baseball business have done is minuscule when somebody puts their life on the line for. You know, the ideals and all the people of this country and the great freedoms that we have.
Well, one of those freedoms is to be able to play this game.
That's right.
And they don't look at it that way, unfortunately.
Smith to center field, going back. Gentry's going to have to play it off the wall, and it drops dead in front of him. So into second base with a leadoff double is Seth Smith. And it's just the second hit off of Yu Darvish, who gave up a leadoff single in the 4th inning. And now the first extra base hit against the Ranger right-hander.
Hey, that ball carried pretty well. He didn't hit that ball on the good part of the bat. He hit it toward the end of the bat. Pitch was a little bit outside, really, but drove that ball all the way to the wall in center field. Might have had a little help from the jet stream.
Now Derek Norris now will step in. First at bat that Oakland has had with a runner in scoring position against Yu Darvish. Tom told you before the ball game about the toughness of Yu Darvish. Rounding third, coming in is Smith. The throw is offline. He will score. Down to second goes Norris on the throw. And the A's have tied this ball game at 1 on the RBI single by Derek Norris.
I think if Josh could do that over again, he would have thrown that ball into second base, because he was not going to throw Smith out from where he was and with the jump that Smith got at second base. And now Norris, hustling all the way, just trades place at second base.
No, back-to-back base hits, a double and now a single. And the A's have tied this ball game. Brandon Moss, the hitter. He looks at strike one. Moss hit by a pitch his first time to the plate. And the pitch fouled away to the left. No balls and 2 strikes. Got to look at that replay of where Michael Young was playing. That up on the grass, in case Norris had been asked to bunt. It makes that a little bit of a tough play for a guy playing third base.
That's an extremely difficult play. That ball gets on you in a hurry.
Yeah. Playing back, probably have a much easier time with that.
Yeah, I think he makes that play if he's playing back.
A swing and a miss, the pitch in the dirt, so Torrealba has to lob it down to first. Checking Norris to make sure he stays at second. And that is out number 1. 7th strikeout for Yu Darvish this afternoon. Go back to that play. Matt, go ahead and take that. And Michael Young playing up like that.
Well, he's up on the cut of the grass, and we don't know if it's still wet down there because of the rain earlier. And if it's wet, that ball's going to skip. It looked to me as though Mike thought it was going to come up a little bit. And if it's wet, it's going to skip and stay down, and got by him. But that's a tough play when a guy's swinging and pulls the ball like that, and you're in on the cut of the grass. You better have some quick reactions and a pretty good glove, and Mike has both, but sometimes you just can't make that play.
Breaking ball to Brandon Inge, and that slices the outside corner for strike 1. Well, the A's able to put together 2 of their 3 hits in this ball game in this inning, and they have scored 1 time. They still have Derek Norris in scoring position with 1 out, and the pitch to Inge is swing and a miss. Inge down on strikes the first time he faced Darvish this afternoon.
If you're a right-hand hitter, 0-2 to Darvish, you got to be lucky to have any success.
Especially today.
Either that or really good.
You know, throwing the way he is today, it's been remarkable. Got him swinging. That is strikeout number 8 for Darvish.
If you're up there 0-2, you got to be thinking, oh man, here comes that slider I struck out on the first time up that was outside. Instead, you got a 95-mile-an-hour fastball tailing on the inside corner.
That's almost not fair.
There's so many ways he can get you.
Yeah, when he's around the plate the way he is today, there may be a law against that. At least if not now, there's going to be one passed by the hitters union.
You know, the toughest thing about a pitcher is not necessarily how hard he throws, but it's the movement on the ball.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if a guy's throwing 100 miles an hour and it's straight, most major leaguers are going to catch up to it and hit it.
Right.
But when it's moving like that, it moves 3, 4, 5 inches left or right or down.
And then how about when it's 95 and still does that, right?
That's bad. That is bad. Bad for a hitter. That makes it no fun.
And yet, how many pitchers have you seen over your many years in the game that have that kind of stuff and don't believe it works? You know, the guys on their team will say, hey, your stuff is great. And the guy says, yeah, I know it is. And they go out and pitch like he's throwing underhand.
Too many guys.
Yeah.
I played with a bunch of them, and that just, you know, and you try and tell them as a hitter, hey, listen, you're not just my teammate. You have tremendous stuff.
Right.
Throw it. Nobody wants to hit against that. You're throwing 92, 93, 95, and it's moving. Throw it. And occasionally hit somebody.
Well, show them your command isn't all that good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Throw in and don't be afraid if it's too far in.
You know, my thought was if it hits them, they'll get out of the way next time.
Exactly.
Because they know it hurts.
Exactly.
So I think, and I know, you know this, Buzz. As a pitcher, you want to take control of the game.
Yeah.
You want to let that hitter know, hey, this is my plate, and I'm coming to get you.
Yep. And the folks can sense you is coming to get Cliff Pennington. And he does. Strikeout number 9, 3 in a row to end the inning. The A's come back to tie it, a run on a couple of hits. And one man left. Halfway through the ball game, the Rangers won, the A's won on Fox Sports Southwest. Solution for hosting clients or employees, and the Suites can turn a game with family and friends into a special occasion. For your group of 10 to 200 to watch Ranger game in style, visit TexasRangers.com/suites or call 972-RANGERS. Suites. We were talking about Mark McLemore participating in this game today. That was a pretty good swing. I saw you bat both sides in that game. You hit twice and hit one left-handed and one right-handed.
You still got that extra gear, too, man.
Yeah, but it's only 3. It used to be 6.
Swinging a miss by Nelly Cruz.
It's going to look like a line drive in the paper tomorrow, though.
My thought, my question to you is, how do you decide which side you're going to hit from when the guy's throwing underhand?
Well, the first time up, my right side was my natural side, and I went up there left-handed the second time because I hurt my back a little bit the first time.
Okay, well that's as much logic as I could have asked for.
That was it.
Yeah.
That was the reason. So I was okay left-handed that time. It didn't hurt my back, and I'll be fine.
That's one of those things experience teaches you.
That's it.
Yeah.
If it hurts, don't do that again.
That's right. Stop right there. You don't have to. 0-2 the count to Nelly Cruz. It'll be Cruz, Napoli, and Torrealba. Rangers had a 1-0 lead. Oakland came back to tie it in the top half of the inning. This is getting to be about the time of the game where Rangers offense has exploded of late.
They've had 5 straight games where they've had at least 4 runs in an inning.
Yeah, 5 straight, and you go back over the course of the homestand. This is the 10th game of the homestand. They've had 6 games where they've had the big innings. Had one against Colorado in that first series, and in the last 5 straight. That's catching fire at the right time.
And a lot of them has taken advantage of opportunities like last night. 2 errors led to 5 unearned runs.
2-2 now to Cruz. Nelly doubled into the gap in left center field his first time up. Again, Cruz celebrating his birthday, and he's had good success on his birthday in a Ranger uniform. In the air to right field, Reddick going back. Still going back at the track and reaches up to make the catch. Let's go back to our Fox Sports Southwest studios for a Mazda CX-5 Game Breakers. Leslie McCaslin. All right, Leslie, thank you. Well, Mike Napoli will step in. Napoli, a ground ball to short. His only trip to the plate. Napoli faced Blackley in Oakland in that series the first part of June. He had a couple walks against him. Swing and a miss here, and it's 0-1. Glad to have Mark McLemore along. Mac, we were talking about Rangers 7 All-Stars and possibly an 8th if we can get enough votes for you, Darvish, to go. You played on the good Ranger teams in the mid and late 90s, and I think 4 was the most All-Stars. Is this team that much deeper than the ones you played on?
I think they are.
Think so?
We had some good teams. We had some really good teams, but this team has proven to be better.
Yeah.
Quite frankly, they've proven to be better. I mean, they're deep everywhere. And pretty much everybody out there at almost every position, they've got all-star numbers.
They got 5 all-stars position players, and that's not counting Nelly, Cruz, and Michael Young. Michael's made it 8 times. Nelly's been in the home run derby, been an all-star. So 5 made it. Essentially, there's 7 position players who are all-star type players.
Napoli went around the ball in the dirt, so Norris has to make the throw to first. And Napoli gone on strikes to bring up Yorvi Torrealba. And I would guess that you'd probably feel like the pitching in the last couple of years for this club has been as good as it ever has been in this part of North Texas anyway. I mean, this pitching has really gotten to the point where it's solid.
There's no question about that. You know, we've always been known for our hitting and defense, but now it's the pitching that's caught up to that and probably even surpassed it in some areas. It's just solid from the starting 5 all the way through the bullpen.
Right.
And that's what's gotten them over the hump and into the World Series the last couple of years, and looks like it's going to get them to postseason play again this year. I mean, that's where it all starts. That's where it starts, and that's where it ends. You can hit. I mean, you know, the saying around here was, you know, we'll score 10, but give up 15.
Yeah.
So, you know, now it's the other way around. Still score 10, but maybe give up 2.
Right. Well, Craig Gentry, talking about a solid player. June numbers, and this is for just the month of June. 472, the highest. Craig Gentry not far behind that.
pretty hard to hit 472 for a whole month.
You know, that month.
How'd you do that, Mac?
They were throwing beach balls. Really, that month.
But still, you'd think you'd hit more at people than that.
Wow, I didn't. I missed them all. I missed them all. I found a lot of grass that month. But I think I hit 110 the next month. And the month after that.
470, 580. It still averages out to 290.
Yeah. Torrealba takes that pitch. It's just a little bit low, and it's now 2 balls and 2 strikes. That's incredible. You know, an entire month where you make it out half the time. I mean, that's crazy. And Torrealba drives one to left center field, but not very deep. Smith and Cespedes. It'll be Cespedes, the center fielder, to take it. Rangers are gone in order. Mac, thanks very much for joining us. We'll be looking for you on Rangers Live after the ball game.
Sounds good.
All right, 1-1 ball game. On to the 6th we go. West is brought to you by Ace Cash Express, earning your trust since 1968. And by the Hyundai Fuel Efficiency Drives sales event. Now Darvish back to the hill. A 1-1 ball game. He will face the top of the order, Coco Crisp, to start things off. Jemiah Weeks and Josh Reddick to follow. You know, Tom, we were talking about how good the command has been for Yu Darvish, especially of late. The lack of walks. You go over the last 59 plate appearances, and that goes back to the San Diego game, last 14 outs there. He's had 1 walk in his last 59 batters that he's faced. He hit a couple, but he only 1 walk, and that's a pretty good streak.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. And you know, the way he's throwing tonight, the only surprise to me is the fact that the A's have a run.
Yeah.
I mean, to back up a double with that hard single by Norris, that's pretty good hitting right there against a guy that's throwing like he is tonight.
A ball and a strike to count to Crisp. Crisp, the first hit off of Darvish, kind of a sinking line drive to left center. That pitch low and inside. 2-1 now. Torrealba flashing the signs, and Darvish agrees to the final one that he saw. The 2-1 pitch, just off the outside corner. 3 balls and a strike.
Yeah, this is definitely a guy you don't want to walk. Crisp led off the 4th inning with a base hit. They never got a guy to second base that inning.
Darvish with a 3-1. And that is a strike on the inside corner. It just scraped the black part of the plate.
And it was a strike. Crisp tried to make it look like a ball, but that ball was well in the strike zone.
And a lot of times umpires won't give you that call if you miss by the width of the plate from where the target is set. But Manny Gonzalez did. Payoff pitch low and inside, ball 4. And there's the first walk of the game. And it came at a very inopportune time, putting Crisp on and giving the Athletics some speed aboard. Let's go to Jim Knox.
All right, thank you, Steve. Real quick, the Yu Darvish buzz is now hitting the outfield here. These are a bunch of Yu Darvish fans right here, 14-year-olds from Lake Davis. And what's this all about?
We just wanted to bring our step Yu Darvish farther, and we're big Texas fans. So you get the win tonight, I'm going to be sleeping in my Y. So
first, let's get you in order there, big guy. Get the spelling right. There we go. You come over here, and right there. There we go. We got, get him out now. Oh, almost a double play. All right, guys. Keep up the good work. Appreciate it, Blake.
Yu Darvish!
Okay, thank you.
All right, Jim, thank you. Well, great fans that, you got to have a mirror, though, if you set that thing up and make sure it's spelled right. Darvish again getting the ground ball from Jemiah Weeks. Not able to turn the double play.
Well, if you have to trade runners, Weeks is a fast runner, but not quite in the same league with Crisp as far as base stealing goes. So both times you've erased Crisp as a potential base stealer. Good aggressive slide by Crisp, too. Elvis didn't have a play, but he made sure there was no play.
Here's Josh Reddick, who's 0 for 2. And again, Yu Darvish going to pay some attention to Jemiah Weeks over there. Reddick a pop to short and a strikeout. Darvish has punched out 9 through the first 5 innings. There's that big slow breaking ball that rolls into the strike zone. It's 0-1. Darvish at 70 pitches, 49 strikes, 21 balls. Jemiah Weeks establishing what looks to be kind of a modest lead. And a swinging foul tip strike. It's 0-2.
Just another variation of a pitch. That hard cutter at 90 miles an hour. Breaking sharply, not breaking much. Making it very difficult to make contact with it.
Well, this is one of those matchups for Darvish that he knows he has Reddick's number right now. And Reddick probably knows he knows that too. Oh my goodness, I got to face him. Darvish ready, a check of first. And the 0-2, and Reddick would not bite on that breaking ball. It's a ball and 2 strikes. You mentioned Reddick now in his career 0 for 7 against Darvish with 5 strikeouts. Rangers still looking for that ground ball double play. Jemiah Weeks, the runner off of first. And the 2-2 pitch. Foul back.
.95 miles an hour again. Probably the best consistent velocity that Yu has had this season. All game long, pitch after pitch.
Again, the 1-2.
A splitter.
Yeah, at 90.
You can throw a cutter at 90 and a splitter at 90.
Darvish trying to be one of the ones in Kansas City. Again, folks, you have until July 5th, that's Thursday, at 3 o'clock Central Time to vote Yu Darvish in the final vote for the spot. The pitch is low. Go to TexasRangers.com and cast your ballots. There's no limit to the number of times you can vote. And the Rangers, in your first 25 votes will enter your name for a special drawing. So you get a little added bonus. 2-2 the count. Now Darvish stepping back off the rubber. He wasn't quite sold on that pitch in that location. Torrealba says, watch me. I'll go through this again. That's the pitch I want right there. That typically is a slider. But atypically, it's not thrown quite that well. Darvish was strikeout number 10, and there are 2 away for Cespedes.
Yeah, he just sends you back to the bench talking to yourself. It's one thing if a guy has 3 pitches, fastball, whatever, curveball, and a slider. That's hard enough when he's got great stuff. But man, when you've got all these pitches, you just don't have the slightest idea what's coming next.
And you mentioned it, Tom, in the open before the ball game, how good he has been at home. 7-0 at home.
Yeah.
10 straight, or I should say 3 straight 10+ strikeout games at home.
In his last 3 starts, 29 strikeouts, only 6 walks, and 23 innings. Won all 3 of those starts.
And that breaking ball, and Cespedes kind of gave up on him and watched it into Torrealba's glove for strike 1.
He probably said to himself, I might as well take it. I've swung at it about 5 times and I haven't hit it. But you know, this guy's one of those guys. He might swing at it 5 times and miss it, but that 6th time could go 450 feet.
Yeah.
He still scares you up there.
That's line to right field. That's a base hit into the corner. Weeks turning on the Jets with pretty good speed. He's going to be held up at third as the throw comes in from Kinsler. A great relay from Cruz to Kinsler to Torrealba.
No team does it better than the Rangers. I've said that 10 times this year, and every time a ball's hit like that, you see why. Cruz played that ball off the wall perfectly. If he doesn't get this cleanly, it's a run. So number one, he caught it cleanly off the wall. He plays the carom perfectly. That's a rope by Cespedes too. Watch how cleanly he plays the carom off the wall. Right to him. Perfect throw to Kinsler, who just turns, knows where the plate is, and throws a strike home.
You can't execute a relay better than that.
No, you can't.
And Rangers have the advantage when Kinsler's out there. He has a shortstop's arm, so it's not like a typical second baseman. He can be 170 feet out there and throw you a frozen rope to home plate. So runners at second and third now with 2 outs, and here's Seth Smith, and that pitch gets in, and apparently it didn't hit him. I thought it hit him, but sliding in is Jemiah Weeks with the run, and Torrealba is going to talk to Manny Gonzalez, home plate umpire, and Darvish trying to find out what's going on.
Darvish was just, in case it didn't hit him, was coming after the ball. Torrealba, I think, is saying that the ball hit him. The way the ball stopped, it must have hit something.
Yeah. And Ron Washington is talking to Manny Gonzalez to get clarification on exactly what's going on. And now Manny Gonzalez is going to get the opinion of other folks.
Hit the umpire.
Hit the umpire's leg. Yep.
It definitely hit something. Couldn't tell whether it was the hitter or not. Let's see. I think it missed him.
Yeah. Yeah, and the umpire's leg got in the way. And now the conference, we see this quite a bit. All the umpires getting together to talk it over and get the best opinion they can, see if they can get it right. And what was the determination? Ron Washington waiting for that for Manny Gonzalez. He says nope. So it will be a run on a wild pitch.
Well, from our angle, it looks like a good call. Comes close to hitting the back foot, but he gets it out of the way, and then the ball stops because it hit the umpire's leg.
So Weeks scores on the wild pitch. The Athletics take a 2-1 lead. Cespedes goes to third base on the wild pitch, and Seth Smith still at the plate, a count of 1 ball and no strikes. And the off-speed delivery way outside. 2-0. And Darvish hits the outside corner with that pitch. It's 2-1. Yeah, I thought from our angle, just watching it with the naked eye, that that pitch in the dirt had to have hit Smith, but on the replay it showed that it didn't, that it got the umpire's shin guard. Slow breaking ball. That's a little bit low. Smith takes it, and the count has gone to 3-1. So the A's have a 2-1 lead. Seth Smith trying to make it one more here in this inning. Base hit would drive home Cespedes, and the pitch outside, ball 4. Well, the second walk of the inning and the game for Yu Darvish, and that puts runners at the corners with 2 outs for Derek Norris. That's not a terrible walk, I don't think. You know, left-handed hitter up there and a right-hander on deck. You know, Mike Maddox is going to go out and talk to Yu Darvish and Yorvi Torrealba. Just give him a little breather, see if he can get his focus back aligned to where he wants it to be. Well, the inning started with a walk to Coco Crisp, and he was immediately erased on a fielder's choice ground out. Jamal Weeks took his place at first. Reddick struck out for the second out of the inning. And then Yoenis Cespedes lined a double into the corner and right. Then the wild pitch, and that brought the run home. And now the walk to Smith puts runners at first and third. Derek Norris, who has a base hit in 2 trips, will stand in. Norris drove home the first A's run last inning. Good breaking ball, and Darvish gets ahead 0-1. Darvish reading his signs from Torrealba, and the right-hander's ready. Will bluff to third, back to first, and nobody biting on that one. Darvish set for the 0-1 pitch. Way that and missed. Another good breaking ball. It's 0-2. And not only does it have that kind of late movement on it, it is also enough off speed that it must look like a fastball to right-handed hitters, because they're swinging at it like it's a fastball velocity-wise. 0-2 pitch. No, he's going to try that again. And most of the time, don't blame this on the pitchers alone. Most of the time, this comes from the bench, that they want that move just in case they're thinking a potential steal situation where the A's might try to steal a run, and they want to see if they can catch one of the runners breaking early. Good block by Torrealba, and that pitch down and in the dirt, and the count goes to a ball and 2 strikes.
They've already scored 1 run on a wild pitch. Good job blocking this one. That wasn't that easy to block.
That's one thing. Both Ranger catchers, Torrealba and Mike Napoli, do extremely well. Pitches in the dirt, they are all over those. Very solid behind the plate defensively. 1-2 pitch from Darvish. And a check swing on the slider outside. It's 2-2. Darvish now up to 87 pitches. Norris, kind of a fidgety hitter up there. He's back in the batter's box. We're set to work. Cespedes, the runner at third. Seth Smith at first base. And the 2-2 pitch coming from Darvish. Now time called as Norris a little bit tired of waiting. Almost waited too long to get time called, but Matty Gonzalez, the home plate umpire, said, okay, I'll give it to you this time.
It's hard to stand there as a hitter in your stance with that concentration for more than a couple of seconds, and when they make you wait, most hitters will call timeout.
Now the 2-2. Call strike 3. Yu Darvish has tied his career high with his 11th strikeout, but the A's score a run on a hit, a couple of walks, and a wild pitch. Rangers coming to bat in the bottom of the 6th inning. Oakland 2, Texas 1. Brought to you by Sonic. Tonight's jackpot is worth $1,200 and dinner for two at Sonic Drive-In. Tonight, the Rangers are hitting for Billy Dunn of Paris, Texas. And if a Ranger gets a grand slam during the inning, Billy Dunn from Paris will win $25,000. You can register at any participating Sonic restaurant. So the Rangers find themselves down on a one-run game. It's 2-1 Oakland. As we head to the bottom of the 6th inning, it'll be Craig Gentry, Ian Kinsler, and Elvis Andrus to face Travis Blackley. Gentry 0 for 1, a fly ball to left his first time to the plate, and takes outside for ball 1.
The Rangers haven't had a base runner since the 3rd inning. 6 up, 6 down. They had 2 men thrown out on the bases, a pickoff and Elvis going towards second on the throw. They cut it off and got him on his RBI hit.
Gentry takes a strike to even the count. Well, Blackley's done a very good job. Rangers roughed him up last time they faced him out in Oakland, but he has been very, very efficient today. He's kept his pitch count down to the point where he's just throwing his 63rd now. And Gentry a tapper down the 3rd baseline. It's by the bag in foul territory, and Craig will come back with a count of 1 ball and 2 strikes.
He's utilized his changeup, off-speed pitches very well, kept the Ranger hitters off balance, and that's what you have to do against a great hitting team. If you don't have something like a changeup, something off-speed, you're going to be in deep trouble.
Blackley came in at 1-1 against the Rangers in his career, just a couple of starts. The other one, other than that last one in Oakland, was his major league debut with Seattle back in July of 2004. He won that against the Rangers and shut them out for 7 innings. That pitch is low, and the count's even now, 2-2.
Yeah, back in the 3rd inning, 3 out of the 4 hitters had base hits, including a double. But because 2 guys were thrown out in the bases, they only scored 1 run.
And Gentry lays off that big curveball. So the count has gone from 0-2 or 1-2 to 3-2. And Gentry trying to get aboard to start things off. The top of the order is waiting, and that means Ian Kinsler swinging a bat in that on deck circle. Another large crowd on hand here tonight, and they are just aching to have something to get excited about. Rangers trying to give them something here in the 6th inning. Payoff pitch to Gentry. Hit in the air to center field. Cespedes going back, still going back at the track. It's off the wall and bounds off of Cespedes out of the ballpark.
Boy, if that stayed in the ballpark, it was at least a triple.
Yeah.
Depending on how far it caromed off the wall, might have been a home run. Well, that's about as far as Craig has hit a ball as a Ranger, 400 feet to dead center field. And shows you how that ball is carrying out there.
Interesting play. Now watch this carom. Hit him on the foot.
Yeah, it definitely hit the wall first. It's not a Jose Canseco where it bounces off of him and out of the ballpark. He can't find it. He knows it hit him in the foot. He just doesn't know where the ball went.
That's a pretty good foot save, and considering how fast Gentry is, he probably saved himself 90 feet.
He saved himself a base with that. There's no doubt about it. And it shows you how the ball is carrying to center field. One that Smith hit earlier in the game.
Yeah, that ball was one you were talking about, Tom, where it wasn't a real high one. It was kind of an in-between line drive that really got some benefit.
And when the A's scored in the 5th, Seth Smith had a leadoff double that he a little bit outside, didn't hit it off the good part of the bat to that almost exact same part of the ballpark.
But now Kinsler up there, and the A's playing the corner men in. They are there in case Kinsler bunts. Good speed at second, and Gentry, he represents a tying run, and the first pitch inside for ball 1. Kinsler doubled his last time up. He came around to score the only Ranger run so far. Ian extending his leading total of runs scored to 61. Lead the major leagues in that category. But here trying to at least advance Craig Gentry, if not score him. Blackley's 1-0 pitch. Popped up, shallow right field. Weeks going out. He's making the call and the catch, and Gentry has to stay at second. So Kinsler can't get the runner over. There's one out now, and Elvis Andrus coming up. And let's go to Emily Jones. Em?
Yeah, the All-Star Parade continues. Elvis Andrus going to make his second All-Star appearance, this time being a manual. Thank you very much for that. Appreciate you. Let's get a shot of this guy. Get a shot of that guy. He clearly wants to be on television. I want to hear from Elvis Andrus.
I don't really, looking for, those kind of things, but it's always great. As a player, it's always great when you get chosen to be, part of the All-Star game. And I guess, I got to continue to play hard, to continue to achieve this kind of awards.
And means a lot to Elvis because of the relationship that he and Ron Washington have. He is a little tough on the shortstop at times, but he has proven to have persevered through it, kind of like I persevered through that guy.
Nice going, Em. That's great for both you and Elvis. Good stuff. Hard to believe that.
I'm pretty proud of myself right now, Buzz.
You should be. What
I'm not saying the 5 things I was thinking. Get myself in trouble.
Pitch inside to Elvis, 1 ball, no strikes. Yeah.
That's about as much self-restraint as I've ever shown right there.
Well, in that case, I'm proud of you too.
Oh,
Tom.
man.
Blackley okays the sign. Gentry with the lead there at the bottom of your screen. And the left-hander coming to the plate. Elvis loops one into right field. Reddick toward the line, still coming. He makes the catch. And back to second goes Gentry. A couple of pops to right field, and Gentry having to stay put. He's there with 2 outs now, and Josh Hamilton coming to the plate. Josh, a ground ball to short, which is a little bit of a misnomer because Pennington was on the first base side of second base when he fielded the ball. And then last time up, Blackley really got inside on Hamilton and sawed him off. Ground ball out to second. So 0 for 2 today. Again, the overshift on with Pennington, the shortstop, playing a few steps to the first base side of second, but also close enough to keep Gentry pretty much anchored on second base. 1 ball, no strikes. And because of the runner at second base, the third baseman, Brandon Inge, has to remain over toward third. He's not able to go into the shortstop hole. So Hamilton, one of those situations where if he can just roll one through what would normally be the shortstop hole, he can get an RBI single. Blackley studying the signs. The left-hander has the one he wants. Hamilton a swing, and the ball gets away from Norris. So down to third goes Gentry. And now Norris going to talk to Manny Gonzalez, the home plate umpire. We've seen some weird things happen around home plate to the catchers and balls bounding away from them.
Well, Blackley pitches out of this jam. He's done a pretty good job. Man on second, nobody out, in the top of the order up. That doesn't happen very often. Got one more big out to get right here, so he hasn't done it yet.
That last pitch, by the way, ruled a pass ball on Derek Norris. Now the 1-1 to Hamilton. And Norris that time does a good job of blocking the ball in the dirt. 2 balls and a strike. Hamilton, the major league leader, with 73 RBI, and he has one more to pick up out there, just 90 feet away. That was the pass ball that allowed Gentry to advance. It looked like it went right through the webbing of Norris's glove. And the 2-1. Popped him up. On the infield, a trio of A's coming down. It's the shortstop Pennington. He makes the catch. And Gentry is stranded. That will do it for the Rangers in the 6th. No runs a hit, 1 left. On to the 7th we go. Oakland 2, Texas 1 on Fox Sports Southwest. Southwest is brought to you by Geico Insurance. 15 minutes can save you 50% on car insurance. Visit us at geico.com or call 1-800-947-AUTO. And by the all-new Mazda CX-5 with 35 highway MPG. On to the 7th. Yu Darvish back to the hill with 11 strikeouts, tying his career high. And he also now has 5 games this year of 10 or more strikeouts, which ties him with former Ranger R.A. Dickey for the major league lead. First ball is pounded deep to right field. by Brandon Moss. It is gone. Moss got a pitch out over the plate, and he cranked it on out of here for his 8th home run of the year, and the A's lead it 3-1.
Well, he hasn't got a lot of hits this year. Man, he looked like a hitter when he put a charge in that one. He got the pitch he was looking for and put a swing on it, that's for sure.
Moss going out and taking one off the outer half of the plate.
I'll say that was
driving that. So a 2-run deficit now that the Rangers will have to overcome. That ball 6 rows up into the second deck, 406 feet, the estimated distance. Brandon Inge, a couple of strikeouts, and he takes a little bit low. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. So all 5 hits for Oakland have come in the last 3 innings plus 1 hitter.
Yeah, Moss only has 16 hits. 8 of them have been home runs.
That's doing some damage with not a whole lot of fireworks.
Yeah. Getting the most out of your hits.
All the way to the backstop, and Inge now the advantage in the count at 2-1. Brandon Moss. Darvish ready to work. Check swing, and he did not go around. It's ball 4. So the home run now followed by a walk to Brandon Inge. 1 on, nobody out, and Cliff Pennington coming up. 3rd walk issued by Darvish today. 3rd in the last 8 hitters.
Yeah, after 4 innings, it didn't look like the A's would be able to do this kind of damage. But they've had 3 good innings against him. The 5th, the 6th, and now the 7th. Give their hitters credit. He's throwing good, and they've gotten some pretty good results.
First pitch to Pennington outside as he showed bunt, pulled the bat back, and Michael Young coming down the line for 3rd. Bob Melvin's club last in the American League in both runs scored and hitting for average. They have a pretty respectable 251 average with runners in scoring position. It's some 27 points higher than their batting average. There goes the runner. The bunt is down, and Darvish will have only 1 play. That's the first. Goes to Napoli, and Inge taking 2nd on the bunt and run.
Someone missed a sign there.
Then it'll go down as a sacrifice.
If you got generally when the guy's running, you're not bunting.
Yeah.
So it was either a hit and run that the hitter missed, or a hit and run, or a bunt that the first base runner missed.
Pennington trying to find out from Bob Melvin exactly what happened. So Inge in scoring position now at second base. The top of the order, Coco Crisp goes after the first pitch and skies one to right center field. Cruz into the alley, makes the catch, tagging in second, bluffing a move toward third. Inge put the brakes on, and it's a good thing. He would have been out from here to Grand Prairie had he kept going. Nelly Cruz with that rocket of an arm, and that's out number 2. He really gets himself in good position to throw, doesn't he, Tom?
Yeah, he does. All the outfielders do. That's a definite asset for this team, is the way virtually every outfielder throws. Usually there's 1 or 2 guys that can throw like that. Some that are okay and some that are lacking a little bit. The Rangers don't have anybody that's lacking. Hardly have anyone that's average. I think when you consider accuracy, they don't have an average guy out there. The guys that might have average arms are way above average with their ability to throw the ball accurately, which is really more important than arm strength. You can't throw it where you want to from the outfield. You're not going to throw anybody out no matter how hard you throw it.
Well, one pitch is chop foul at the plate, so Yu Darvish with an 0-2 count on Jemile Weeks. Weeks 0 for 3, a strikeout back in the first. Since then, he has reached on fielder's choice ground balls his last 2 times up. Darvish a check of second. And the 0-2 pitch. A little nubber foul. And we'll come back and try it again.
One thing the Ranger starters have done the last 3 games is allow the bullpen to get a little bit of a breather. Matt Harrison went 8 innings a couple of days ago. Yesterday, first big league win and the first big league start for Martin Perez. He was pretty impressive yesterday. And Yoshi and Michael Kirkman finished up. Gave Mike Adams, Joe Nathan each 2 days rest.
Did he foul tip that? Yes, he did. Just barely able to stay alive. Jemile Weeks got a piece of that pitch.
I thought the way the first 4 innings went for Darvish, this might be a 9-inning game for him.
Sure looks like it.
Pitch count was really down after 4, but it's up to 101 now here with 1 out to go in the 7th.
Darvish again with the 0-2 pitch. And that one's chopped foul. Weeks proving to be a very tough customer here at 0-2. Here's the pitch count by innings for Yu Darvish. Really the 6th inning, the one that really jumped up and bit him. The 2nd inning was 18, and that was a 1-2-3 inning, but he had a lot of foul balls in that frame too. Into the runner at second base as Darvish gets the sign from Torrealba. And misses high with a fastball. Now Darvish has already tied his career high for strikeouts in a game at 11. Trying to establish a new career high against Jemile Weeks. Little topper down at first, and right there Mike Napoli steps in the bag. That will do it. The A's come up with another run on Brandon Moss, solo home run. They lead one. Stretch time at Ranger Ballpark in Arlington. 3-1 Oakland. And now let's join Chuck Morgan as we honor America with the singing of God Bless America.
So we ask that you please rise as we pause to honor the men and women of our armed services, both at home and around the world. Tonight we invite you to join in singing God Bless America with Jessica Bradbury.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
A new show called Chevy Hometown Kids. It's not about the score, it's about the experience. So tune in each Saturday at 10 a.m. right here on Fox Sports Southwest, or visit hometownkids.tv. There you go for more information.
Blackley's pitched almost 50 innings now this season. He's only given up 1 home run. That's pretty impressive. Remember, coming into the game in his last 3 starts, he'd thrown 21 innings and only given up 13 hits.
Robbie Ross starting to loosen in the Ranger bullpen, so we may have seen all we're going to see of Yu Darvish here today. Pitch inside to Adrian Beltre, and the count goes 1 ball and 1 strike. Yeah, Blackley, that's interesting, because normally you think of guys that don't give up a lot of home runs being sinker ball pitchers, and Blackley's not really a sinker ball pitcher, but he changes speeds very effectively.
He's got a great changeup today.
Beltre hasn't solved him. Adrian 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a fly ball to deep center, and he finds himself down on the count here, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
A very manageable pitch count too. He's only thrown 77 pitches.
Blackley's 1-2. Jamile Weeks gobbles up that skimmer. 1 gone. Well, folks, in case you missed it, Ranger All-Stars that were announced today going to Kansas City. Josh Hamilton, Adrian Beltre, and Mike Napoli are the 3 starters. Matt Harrison, of course, may be a starter. We don't know yet for sure. Joe Nathan, Ian Kinsler, Elvis Andrus, and possibly Yu Darvish, but that's up to you. It's going to be on July 10th, a week from Tuesday. It will be in Kansas City. And go to TexasRangers.com and vote all you want for Yu Darvish to join his teammates in Kansas City. That game will be on Fox on July 10th. Michael Young 0 for 2, a fly ball to right and a line drive to left. After that pitch, it stayed up from Blackley, but fouls it straight back, and it's a ball and a strike. Blackley facing Young, and Michael came into the game 2 out of 6 against Blackley, but now 2 out of 8 as Blackley fires a knee-high strike. 1-2. Travis Blackley from Melbourne, Australia, still lives there in the off season. Missed with that slow breaking ball. A's picked him up, picked Blackley up this April when the Giants designated him for assignment. A's picked him up on waiver wires, and he has become a very serviceable starter for them. Of course, their starting rotation has been in such disarray. They've had 4 of the 5 starters they planned on go on the disabled list. That pitch fouled back by Young, and it's still 2 balls, 2 strikes. So Blackley stepping in very capably to fill one of those starting roles. An idea of the pitching breakdown. It's almost like his fastball is his change of speeds. That's how he uses it. Now Blackley with a 2-2 pitch to Young. To Hopper down to first base. Easy play for Moss. To the bag he goes, and that's out number 2. Folks, here's the Brown Hen Center great hands of the game. Go to the 2nd inning, and Nelly Cruz coming on to slide and make the catch on that rocket. That was off the bat of Seth Smith. Nelly Cruz on his birthday, showing you some Pretty good hands, pretty good leather out there. And here is the Ranger right fielder who is 1 for 2, doubled and flied to right field. Blackley's first pitch to him is a changeup that hits the outside corner. And Mike Adams has joined Robbie Ross, getting loose in that bullpen.
Probably depends what happens this half inning as to who comes into the ball game.
Blackley's 0-1 on the way. And Cruz takes a strike. And Blackley really moving the ball around well, changing the speeds well, as Tom has talked about. Makes it very tough on the opposing hitters. Plus, he's getting ahead of guys. That's his 7th 0-2 count of the evening. You know, he's not afraid to throw his stuff in the strike zone. And Cruz chops the next pitch foul. Mentioned Nelly is celebrating his 32nd birthday. Last year on his birthday, he went 2 for 5. Rangers playing against the then Florida Marlins had a 15-5 win.
Well, AJ Griffin in his start against the Rangers, he's a right-hander, pitched this kind of a game against the Rangers with similar kind of pitches, with similar kind of results, moving his fastball around, not showing a whole lot of fastballs, a lot of off-speed pitches. And he gave the Rangers a hard time in that game too. They came on to win that game late, but he pitched pretty well.
And the Rangers in a similar position of if they're going to win this ball game, it has to be a late turnaround. And they've shown no lack of ability to do that. Pitch outside. The count has gone 2-2 now to Cruz. Tom mentioned to you 5 straight games the Rangers have had now with 4 or more runs in a single inning in those games. Blackley's 2-2 pitch. Line drive, base hit to center field.
Well, he waited on that off-speed pitch.
Oh, he did. Now, Nelly Cruz 2 out of 3. He is aboard with 2 outs here in the 7th. And that means Mike Napoli coming to home plate represents the tying run of this game.
Low changeup in the center of the plate. Blackley's ducking, and I don't blame him. Well, one swing of the bat, you can erase 3 straight good innings by the A's. They've scored 1 in the 5th, 6th, and 7th.
Napa, big swing and a miss. It's 0-1. Knapp has had a ground ball to short and a strikeout against Blackley today. Nelly Cruz not more than 3 or 4 feet off that bag, and that may be a little bit too far.
Yeah.
From what we've seen of Blackley's pickoff move today. He's already picked off a couple of Rangers.
That happened early in the game where the Rangers were having some pretty good at bats early in the game. They were hitting some balls hard. Back in the 3rd inning, they had a double and 2 singles out of 4 hitters, and that was all they faced. Doolittle, I mean, that Blackley faced in that inning were 4 hitters. 3 of them had hits. Picked one of them off, though.
Elvis has been picked off today, and Yorvi Torrealba. Breaking ball got him swinging. Napoli down on strikes, and Nelly Cruz 2-out single goes for naught. Well, the Rangers gone in the 7th. They strand their 3rd runner of the game. To the 8th we go. Oakland 3-1 over the Rangers on Fox Sports Southwest. Out here at the Rangers ballpark, and brought to you by Chicken Express. Good folks there sponsoring that cute little lovable snow monkey, is made famous by Nolan Ryan. And if you haven't heard Nolan's story, you need to go online and check it out for yourself. But that little snow monkey right there is the result of that story. And Chicken Express, so good to provide a little nourishment for the guys down in the truck, and also sponsored today. And Nolan Ryan appreciates it.
That's a pretty funny story.
Oh,
I finally read it in the paper today.
Did you?
The whole story.
Hilarious.
Well, Robbie Ross comes in with a 1.08 ERA. Heck, he could have been an all-star with those numbers. Might have to pay his dues a little bit to make that team.
Yeah.
Keeps pitching like that, he will.
And the first hitter he will face will be Josh Reddick to start things off. It'll be Reddick, Cespedes, and Smith. And the first pitch is ball one to Reddick. Reddick struck out twice and popped out against Yu Darvish. And fouled away to the left. It's a ball and a strike. Ross back to him, and a line drive fair down the right field line into the corner. Now he's going to play the carom, but Reddick steaming into second base with a leadoff two-bagger against Robbie Ross. So the lefty-lefty matchup didn't go Robbie's way that time. He was not able to get that ball away to Reddick.
No, he did get that ball where he wanted, inside part of the plate. Reddick just turned on that. In the last 4 innings, they've hit some balls hard. Smith had a double off the wall. Cespedes hit a bullet down the right field line. Home run that Moss hit, got out of here in a hurry. And now Reddick takes advantage of missed location and ripped it down the right field line. Reddick's had a nice season. Having a nice season.
So Yoenis Cespedes will step in. He is 1 for 3. That double to right field. Part of that run scoring 6th inning for the A's.
Reddick's hit 18 home runs. I was looking through some box scores. The Twins have someone with 18 home runs, hit 2 home runs today. It's not Joe Mauer. It's not Josh Willingham, at least not who I'm thinking of. If I didn't see it the last few days, I never would know. Trevor Plouffe has 18 home runs.
Wow.
Now, he was a high draft choice a while back, quite a while back, that really didn't develop quickly, but it's like he's doing it now.
Yeah, he would not be one of your top picks to hit 20 home runs this year.
No. But based on where he was drafted, as high as he was drafted, the scout who signed him had some faith in him.
Yeah.
Just taking a little while to develop it. Good for him.
Cespedes pops out. Staying at second is Reddick. 1 gone now, and here's Seth Smith. Smith had a double back in the 5th. He led things off with that 2-bagger and scored on Derek Norris' single. Other than that, a walk and a line drive to right. 0-1 as Robbie Ross gets that across the outside corner. And took something off. It got over the inside corner, looked like, and Smith down in an 0-2 hole. Ross nods in agreement. The left-hander checks second. And the 0-2, that breaking ball is just a bit wide. A couple of finishing thoughts for you about Yu Darvish today. That 7th inning for Darvish. He did not have a strikeout, and that ended a streak of 14 straight innings with a strikeout. And as far as we can tell, that's the longest streak of such by a Ranger since 2003. Guillermo had a 14 inning streak. Little chopper just foul of the bag, and we'll come back and try it again at a ball and 2 strikes. And that's, of course, as a Ranger pitcher, not overall. But Darvish right now is the pitcher of record. He cannot get a win. He can certainly get a loss, or if the Rangers come back, he would get a no decision. Robbie Ross may be in a position to pick up his 7th win of the year. He is 6-0 so far. And that pitch fouled back by Smith. Josh Reddick started this inning by doubling into the right field corner off of Robbie Ross. When it's Cespedes popped out to short. And now Ross with a 1-2 advantage in the count to Seth Smith. Ground ball to the right side. Ian Kinsler, easy play on to third goes Reddick, but he's there with 2 outs now as Smith grounds out. Derek Norris will come up. Norris with that RBI single in the 5th inning. That plated the tying run at that point. It made it a 1-1 ball game. Other than that, Norris had no luck whatsoever against Yu Darvish. He struck out twice, both times looking at a 3rd strike. And first pitch swinging. It's a 2-hopper out to Ian Kinsler. That will do it. So Robbie Ross works around the leadoff double. A's strand their 6th runner of the afternoon, and the Rangers coming to bat. They are trailing Oakland 3-1 on Fox Sports Southwest. For Andy Hawkins. Day in baseball history. Andy threw a no-hitter against the White Sox, but lost the game 4-0. And since the White Sox did not bat, the White Sox were the home team, did not bat in the bottom of the 9th inning, he doesn't get credit for an official no-hitter.
That's a weird one.
Yeah, I know. I'd have to complain about that. The Hawk. Andy Hawkins, a no-hitter that was an official no-hitter.
Must not have had a whole lot of support defensively that day.
Brad Balfour taking over for Travis Blackley, and I don't think the Rangers are really sorry to see Blackley go.
Not the way he was throwing. That was an impressive game by a left-hander who mixed things up very well. speed, location, pitches. He was really good tonight. Last time Balfour pitched against the Rangers, it didn't go that well for him. Pitched 2/3 of an inning, gave up a hit, and walked 3 batters. Game where they had the lead and shied away from throwing his fastball much at all in that game. Got behind, walked some guys. Tonight, Craig Gentry unloaded with that bases loaded triple to win the game.
Yorvi Torrealba will lead things off, and then it will be the aforementioned Craig Gentry, and back to the top of the Ranger order. And David Murphy has come out to swing a bat in that on-deck circle as Torrealba shows bunt, pulls the bat back. It's a strike anyway. There's Murphy. Well, if Bob Melvin elects to stay with Grant Balfour, then Murphy will hit for Craig Gentry, no doubt. And Torrealba laces one, but foul down the right field line, and back into the seats. No balls and 2 strikes. Balfour, a slider specialist, and that was quite evident with the number of sliders he threw the other night. Time was called just before he began his motion. Balfour back to the plate, and a tapper at home plate. Stays in foul territory. Balfour originally came up with the Twins back in 2001. He was with Minnesota until the 2006 season. Signed with Cincinnati Reds. Then went to Milwaukee. Spent a little time in Tampa Bay, 3 years to be exact. And now with Oakland. Last year he worked in 62 ball games with the Athletics. And this year, you remember, he began as their closer and was deposed shortly after the second week of the season. Torrealba, ground ball toward right field. Weeks, a diving stop. He's up, throws, not in time.
Whoa. Well, that's one time it might have been smart to dive into first base, because the throw was off the bag, and if he didn't slide underneath Moss's tag, he might have been out. He didn't anticipate a bad throw. He was just diving to beat the throw. And he might have been safe anyway, but as it turns out, he slides right underneath the tag.
So Torrealba, the leadoff base hit. Infield variety, but that's what the Rangers will have to work with. That's what they'll take. Well, the leadoff man aboard. And now David Murphy coming up as a pinch hitter.
I'd like to see Murph up there swinging a hot bat. Again, one swing of the bat ties this ball game.
Yeah, he represents the tying run in this game, and he has been very good in pinch hitting roles.
Yeah, he's pinch hit a home run this year.
A 3-run home run in a pinch hit role back in May in Baltimore. And Balfour's first pitch is outside for ball 1. Murph this year is a pinch hitter 2 for 5 with that home run Tom was telling you about. 4 runs driven in. One ball, no strikes the count as Balfour gets ready. And that pitch just off the outside corner.
Balfour's in a tough situation. He knows his last outing here went badly because of 3 walks. He also knows one pitch in the wrong part of the plate, David Murphy can tie this game up.
And there's a strike. Looked like Murph taking all the way, unless it had been an area that he was looking for, which was probably down on the inner part of the plate. Double-barreled action. Blevins and Cook. Blevins the left-hander in the left center field bullpen for the A's.
With the left-hander up, probably in case Josh gets up this inning.
Now Murph, tired of waiting, he backs out. 288 the average for David Murphy. He's been on a pretty good tear of late. He's hit .353 in this homestand. And the next pitch, a little bit low. It's 3 balls and a strike. And Balfour digging himself a little bit of a hole against Murphy.
Oh, he is as the grooves one on the inside part of the plate. Bob Melvin's seen this movie before.
Yeah. Nervi Torrealba, the runner at first. And the 3-1. Murphy pops it up. Shallow left field. Going out Pennington. Coming on is Smith. And Smith makes the catch.
Well, he threw a strike with his fastball. 3-1 count. And he got the hitter out. Hitter can't hit a home run every pitch.
Now before Ian Kinsler steps in, let's go to Jim Knox.
All right, Buzz, real quick time for the progressive fan of the game. It has to be the entire Berry family, 25 strong. This is a family, I guess, reunion you call it. How many generations?
We have 3 generations here tonight.
Good to have you. Even the red man's on hand. I guess he's the black sheep of the family. Anything you want to say?
I love the Rangers, and I love snow monkeys. Rangers, snow monkeys, Rangers, snow monkeys, Rangers, snow monkeys.
Okay, loves the snow monkeys and the Rangers. He got that. Here's the bag. Congratulations. Way to go. Good to have the Berry family on hand. Way to go. Anything else? Okay, that's it. He's all talked out. Rangers and snow monkeys, snow monkeys, snow monkeys. There you go, big guy.
Ian Kinsler found back the first pitch. No balls and a strike. Kins 1 for 3 today. His 26th double of the year, and that is good for the best spot in the American League as far as doubles. Torrealba the runner at first. Kinsler trying to pick him up and maybe some more here in this Ranger 8th inning. Check swing, and he went around, says Manny Gonzalez, the home plate umpire. It's no balls and 2 strikes. This is the inning that night before last the Rangers struck for 4 runs. And Balfour was a big part of that. 4 runs in the 8th inning on just a couple of hits. Rangers had 3 walks in that frame also. Kinsler just able to get a piece of it to stay alive. Ian at 277 as he faces Balfour here in the 8th inning. Balfour ready to work. A check of Torrealba, and Kinsler ground ball. It's off the glove of Inge, and no play as Pennington can't come up with it. And that will no doubt be an error on Brandon Inge, what could have been a double play ball to end the inning.
Well, Inge had a costly error in last night's ball game, and maybe that'll prove to be a costly error in this game.
Well, the A's, who came into play today 9th in the American League in errors, that's their 52nd of the year. And now Elvis Andrus steps in as the potential go-ahead run in this game. And the Rangers have shown a great ability of late to really take advantage of an extra out or 2 in an inning. Kinsler at first, Torrealba at second. 1 out. Elvis Andrus is 2 for 3 here tonight. The slider hits the outside corner. Elvis singled his first 2 times up. And you can see with runners in scoring position, he has been deadly against the opposition this year. Balfour, that exaggerated lean toward home plate to take the sign. And throws another slider. That's a strike on the outside part of the plate. And he jumps in front of Andrus 0-2. Josh Hamilton looming in the on-deck circle.
Yeah, both of them look like strikes.
Balfour's next pitch. Swung on the line down the right field line, but Reddick was shaded that way. He goes into the line and makes the catch, tagging at second, and advancing to third is Torrealba. So the Rangers will have runners at the corners with 2 outs, and Josh Hamilton coming up, and Bob Melvin coming out of the A's dugout. So Tom, as you surmised, the left-hander Doolittle out there. If this inning got to Hamilton, it has, and we will see Sean Doolittle as Balfour is finished. Very unhappy about his exit. Excuse me, Blevins is the left-hander we're going to see. Now with Blevins coming on, let's take a timeout on Fox Sports Southwest. You vote for you. That's Yu Darvish. And you can vote for him in the final American League All-Star. Go to TexasRangers.com, cast your vote for the 2012 All-Star Game final vote, and send Yu Darvish to Kansas City. And there's no limit on the number of times you can vote, but voting ends at 3 o'clock Central Time this Thursday afternoon. All-Star Game on Fox on July 10th. Jerry Blevins on to face a pretty familiar foe, and that's Josh Hamilton. They have faced each other 4 times, and Josh Hamilton has struck out all 4 times that he has faced the Oakland reliever. Now with runners at the corners and 2 outs, and Blevin with that breaking ball gets behind in the count 1-0.
And that's the key for Josh, to be able to lay off the breaking ball out of the strike zone. Blevins has a good slider, kind of a sweeping slider that he throws to left-hand hitters, and a lot of them are out of the strike zone. Not easy to lay off it, but that's probably the key to hitting him as a left-hand hitter.
And he goes to the fastball and misses wide. Well, last night, Hamilton facing another pretty good left-hander, Tommy Malone. And he went yard into the bullpen of the A's in deepest left center. That turned the ball game around. And a 3-run home run by Josh Hamilton, his 25th of the year. And a swing and a miss. There was a slider that stayed up for him a little bit. And it's 2 balls and a strike. Blevins working with runners at first and third. A 3-1 Oakland lead here in the 8th inning. And Hamilton again not able to catch up with that pitch on the outside corner or just off it. And it's 2-2. Blevins ready. And instead goes first base way as Kinsler, who the pitch before had bluffed a move towards second base. Blevins just letting Kinsler know he hadn't forgotten about him over there. 2-2, the count to Hamilton. Popped him up.
Boy, hung that one too.
Around second base, and Pennington, the shortstop, staying with it, makes the catch, and Blevins gets the job done. For the Rangers, no runs a hit. There was an error, and 2 left. We're going to the 9th in Arlington. It's the A's 3 and the Rangers 1 on Fox Sports Southwest. For home field advantage in the Fall Classic. The road to the World Series begins with the 2012 MLB All-Star Game. It's on Tuesday, July 10th at 6:30 Central on Fox. Don't forget, we'd like to get one more Ranger. Rangers already have 7 representatives in the American League Club. We'd like to get one more, and you have that opportunity if you go to TexasRangers.com and vote for Yu Darvish in the MLB final vote. So as we go to the 9th inning, David Murphy stays in the ball game and takes over in left field. Josh Hamilton goes to center. Robbie Ross back to the hill, and it will be the bottom third of the order to face him. Brandon Moss, who last time up homered to second deck in right field, and he takes outside for ball 1. That was off of Yu Darvish. Darvish, by the way, 7 innings work, 3 runs. They were earned on 5 hits, that 1 home run, and he walked 3, struck out 11. As Brandon Moss takes a strike, it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Justin Grimm getting some work in out of the bullpen.
Carbon copy. That's a pitch we were talking about earlier, Buzz. That cutter, a little slider that he starts inside and brings over the inside corner of the plate.
You have to have a lot of courage to throw that pitch more than once, I think.
You got to have confidence in your command, that's for sure.
Yeah, if you miss just a little bit out over the plate, that's in somebody's lunch bucket. Ross with the 1-2 pitch. Jammed him on that one. A slow roller that Napoli underhands to Ross covering, and Moss is retired. 1 away, and let's go down to Emily Jones. Em?
Joe Nathan making his 5th All-Star appearance, his first, of course, as a Texas Ranger. He made 4 as a Minnesota Twin, and wasn't too long ago when many people wondered if Joe Nathan would ever pitch again after having Tommy John surgery. He said, makes this one extra special.
Just kind of, hit me then that, this kind of marks something to to finally get back to where I wanted to be. You have the surgery, you don't know if it's ever going to come back. You put the work in, but there's always a question mark. I know a lot of people probably doubted if I would be back at this level. When I told him it's an honor to join him and be a part of this team.
Of course, receiving the word from Ron Washington this afternoon, he said it took him aback a little bit and is obviously thrilled to be going back for a 5th time, but this one has a bit of a different feel.
Thanks, Sam. Yeah, I'm sure it does, and Joe's very expressive about things like that. That's great to see. Nelly Cruz toward the line, and with some room to work down there. He takes the high fly ball from Brandon Inge. That's out number 2, and Cliff Pennington will come up. So many of us, I guess, don't appreciate a lot of things until they are gone, until we lose them. And to have the opportunity to appreciate them when you've regained the ability that Joe Nathan has, that's really something special.
Yeah, you could tell by the tone of his voice how sincere he was, too.
Pennington 0 for 2 with the sacrifice bunt. Turns around to bat from the right side of home plate against the left-hander Ross.
Robbie gave up the leadoff double in the 8th inning. They didn't come close to scoring.
A ball in the strike.
16 strikes and 5 balls. What's new?
Yeah,
just like automatic when he comes in. He throws tough pitches to hit, and they don't get anything off of him.
Hard to believe this young man just turned 23. He pitches like a guy that's been around the big leagues for a number of years.
Another jam shot.
Ian Kinsler takes care of that one hopper. Robbie Ross, a 1-2-3 inning. He retired the last 6 that he faced. Bottom of the 9th inning. Rangers coming up needing 2 to tie and 3 to win. They'll start with Beltre, Young, and Cruz. Southwest is brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers. If you want to break up with a vehicle that's breaking down, then head to your Texas Ford dealer and drive the best in Texas. By Budweiser, great times are waiting. Grab some buds. By the Hyundai Fuel Efficiency Drive Sales Event. And by the Progressive Insurance Group. For a money-saving car insurance quote, call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE today. Now the Rangers coming to bat in the bottom of the 9th. They need a little bit of home magic, and they're facing a tough right-hander now. And before we tell you about the new hurler, Ryan Cook, let's go check in with Rick Renner, the host of Rangers Live. Rick.
Thank you, Buzz. We got an awesome show coming up. After the game, we'll get some reaction from that team record. 7 Rangers going to the All-Star game. Plus, we'll tell you how to vote in another one. Mark McLemore will join me to break it all down. He's still pumping out his chest about those 2 hits he had in the softball game. That after a Rangers rally, guys.
All right, Rick, thank you. Hopefully there'll be Got a Ranger 3 or 4 run uprising here to talk about is Ryan Cook on to try and nail things down.
This kid definitely has a good arm, throws hard, excellent movement on his pitch as well. He gave up the triple that Craig Gentry hit with the bases loaded. Little help though. It looked like Cespedes might have misjudged it. In any event, it went for a 3-run triple and a game winner.
1 ball, 1 strike to count to Adrian Beltre. Cook with a breaking ball, and it's popped up down the right field line. Both Weeks and Moss, and Moss reaching into almost the seats, comes up with it. And Beltre is fouled out to start the Ranger 9th inning. Well, that's a pretty good play by Moss. Tough for a first baseman to go down that far and still be able to locate the ball. Moss with some pretty good wingspan to take care of that. So Beltre isn't out. And now Michael Young will step in. Young is grounded out, lined out, and flied out. And he takes a strike from Cook. Ryan Cook, originally with the Arizona Diamondbacks, as he misses outside. Came over to the A's along with Jared Parker and Colin Cowgill for Trevor Cahill and Craig Breslow. A big trade that the A's were unloading Cahill's salary. Chopper out to short. Pennington charges. And the off-balance throw. And then the tag by Brandon Moss. Michael Young is gone. And Rangers now down to their final out with the birthday boy, Nelly Cruz, coming up.
Cook kind of worked himself into the closer's role. Grant Balfour has 7 saves. Fuentes has 5 saves. But their closer now is Cook, who they got in the trade you're talking about, Buzz. Youngster. Groomed him for the role, and now they've given it to him.
Nelly steps to the plate 2 out of 3 tonight. He doubled back on the 2nd. He singled in the 7th. And the first pitch from Cook is a hard sinking fastball in for strike 1. Well, as you'll note, just 1 click now with the average below the 260 mark. Slider on the outside corner. 0-2. And the one thing that the A's like about Cook, aside from his obvious ability, but his desire to throw a lot of strikes. They don't feel like he has a problem throwing his stuff in the strike zone mentally. Some days it's not there physically for him because he's still trying to refine his mechanics a little bit. But he's a very aggressive pitcher. And Cruz shoots one to right field. That sends Reddick back. He's at the wall and makes the catch. Into the padding he goes. He hangs on to the ball. And that will be the end of the ball game. And the end of the night for the Rangers, as a great catch by Josh Reddick in right field robs Nelly Cruz of getting aboard to continue it. Boy, nice play by Josh Reddick. One right fielder taking it away from another. And the Rangers fall. Their winning streak stops at 5. So they will have to start another one after an off day tomorrow when they go to Chicago tonight. The final score this evening, 3-1 Oakland. And we'll be right back to wrap it up right after this on Fox Sports Southwest.